character. Running wolf.
Okay,
It's like a rogue, essentially.
March 17th, 2011. 2012. We're playing Bughunters. Adam Frager, Neil, Steve, and Rick. And Adam, who are you playing?
Jackson.
PFC Jackson, who's in command of the squad. Neil, who you got? Fisk. What is he listed down as doing? Or what is his?
His occupation is grunt. He's the lowest ranking member of the party.
Okay. Fisk. Okay. Yeah, he knows. What are some of your skills? You got computer systems.
Computer systems, mechanical maintenance, firearm maintenance, small arms, long arms, assault rifle.
Cool. Okay. Steve, who are you playing?
I'm playing Boomer. He's a heavy weapons expert.
Okay.
He's a private too. His background is he's a factory worker. He skills are computer systems, survival, mechanical maintenance, small arms, sidearms, heavy weapons, grenade launcher, first aid, xenological theory, comm gear, armed combat.
Okay. Rick, who are you playing?
I'm playing Flatmon.
Flatmon.
He's the radio operator, communication specialist. His background, office clerk. He's not weaponed very heavily, but that's not his strong point.
Okay. And the main background of the scenario, I've kind of told you guys this a little bit, but in the 2130s, mankind had finally discovered the isolates were able to go faster than light, started colonizing nearby planets. Of the 6 initial colonies, 3 of them just stopped sending signals back. And when it was investigated, everybody was found gone or dead. Nobody is sure what happened to those colonies. The synth program was already underway at this point, and it was decided an emergency act was drafted by the government of Terra, and it was decided that synths were going to be incorporated. These are human beings clones of humans who are then the donor is their brain is scanned, and then those memories are actually downloaded into the synth to give that person some background for himself. Unfortunately, it's a dangerous process. Sometimes the donors die in the brain scan process. Synths are not considered citizens. They are almost considered property of the United Terra Reconnaissance and Peacekeeping Force, UTRPF, which is sometimes called Utterpuff. At this point, Terra is considered under an emergency because so many colonies have been wiped out. And so right now your rights are kind of up in the air. It's a gray area. Nobody's really looking at it very hard. There's a few protester groups on Earth who are like, human rights for synths, that kind of thing. But otherwise the government's just kind of ignoring it and until they figure out what's going on. And nobody really knows what's happened to those other colonies. Few reconnaissance squads were sent to check it out, but in most cases they were not able to verify what happened, except that for some reason the animal life on these other worlds is obviously incredibly hostile. There's nothing that says that it's some kind of big conspiracy, that there's an alien race out there. There's been no sign of any other spacecraft. Human spacecraft are modular. They're ugly. They're slapped together. Usually once they're hooked together in a module, they're kept that way. But technically you could take the ships apart and put them back together as other configurations. Kind of. Well, it's there. Yeah. It's a military thing too. So. Thank you very much. So that's the basic background. Did you guys all look over how you like your other character, the other characters and such briefly? Okay, great. So you kind of know what your characters think about each other. Whereas the original colonies were sent out in these gigantic ships with thousands of colonists, UTRPF has decided that they're going to try to start sending them out in smaller ships, just combat landers with maybe 50 to 100 colonists and a squad or 2 of synths to guard them. These aren't enough. It's not enough people to make a feasible colony that'll last, but it's almost kind of a test colony to see if they can even survive there. Yeah, kind of get a foothold, get set up. 6 months later, supply ship will come, more colonists will start coming if you guys can survive. So it's just trying to get onto other worlds. And here's your very long intro that I'll give you now. As brand new UTRPF Utter Puff troopers, you are reported at UTRPF's training facilities on Stargate Station. This is a station in orbit in the L5 position. That is where all the synths are. You're not allowed to go back down to Earth. You're not allowed to see the people that you remember as being relatives of your donor. Even though you have their memories, you know you're not them too. So there's not any confusion as to who you are.
Self-aware of that.
Yeah. Oh yeah, definitely. You know what's going on. You've been told who you are, what you are, and that kind of thing. Stargate hovers roughly between the Earth and Moon at Lagrange point 5 to be exact, and contains a civilian population of nearly 100,000 people. Roughly 1/5 of the station's living room is taken up by the Utter Puff HQ and training grounds. It's Monday morning, hour 0430. You finished your period of basic training some weeks ago, and each completed your individual occupational training last Friday. According to tradition, you should have received weekend passes immediately thereafter, then been given some R&R time in Stargate's civilian quarter. Instead, you received orders to report to the Marines' 3rd Brigade Echo Company, where you were assembled as Squad B of 2nd Platoon. Saturday and Sunday found you putting in long hours at the mission simulators. You ran through an array of different tasks, from tracking a tiger analog through the steaming jungles to rescuing avalanche victims on a mountainside. Everybody can mark yourself 50 on your sheet somewhere, put 50 experience points. You can use these during combat to kind of boost your yourself, boost your rolls, and that kind of thing. If this were a long-range campaign, those points could be used to increase skills and attributes and that kind of stuff. In this case, it's going to be something you can use to temporarily boost stuff so you get a little better in combat. Get prizes already. Let's see.
Maybe let him live.
Now you've been assigned a real mission. PFC Jackson has just finished reading your mission orders aloud. You are to accompany a group of 50 new colonists to the second world orbiting 61 Cygni A. The Triple B aboard a lightly loaded combat lander is carrying only a half load of colonists and supplies, enough material for 6 months of survival. During flight, its 30 sinners booths will be occupied only by yourselves and the starship crew of 3. Pilot is Star Lieutenant Myers, co-pilot and navigator is Chief Warrant Officer Stratton, and the engineer is Warrant Officer Briggs. I told a few of you guys, but faster than light travel has an awful effect on normal people. Synths have been built so that they can resist it. It makes them sick, it can make them disoriented, or drive people insane. So they have to be in basically stasis in order to survive it without any issues. You're to obey their orders explicitly all aboard ship. On the ground, you will answer to Mayor Reader. In all issues not specifically military, PFC Jackson will be the final authority in such matters, and Reader will be happy to defer to Jackson's expertise. Your tour of duty on the planet is 6 months. At the end of that period, a supply ship will arrive. The captain of the ship will have the authorization to decide whether to extend your stay or to bring you back, depending upon the colony's condition. The ship leaves in 59 minutes from docking bay 37. What do you wish to do until then?
I'll get my gear together.
Okay.
All right.
It'll probably take you about 15 minutes to pack your gear and another 10 minutes to travel to the docking bay. So you have an extensive 34 minutes of free time if you wish to do anything with it.
I want to clean my weapons.
Okay.
Gee, that's
Do
gross.
that. Excuse me, guys.
Got everything from the donor.
So
I
is there
guess I'll
anything
just
that you guys want to do? How
Walk
about that?
around and take double checks of gear and
Okay.
equipment and stuff, and just make sure everything looks to be in working order.
There's information that you can get off the computer on your
Oh, cool.
your destination. There's a passenger manifest there. I did not write up a cargo manifest because it would have been way too much work. But the cargo is considerable. And here's your ship.
Yeah, you guys have big people.
Planetary gravity, is that if it's close to 1 gram, is that like
It's
normal?
close to 1 G. 1 G is normal.
1 G?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
That's the ship. Usually the lander's one that will have 2 of these sections. This one only has 1. There's a scout ship that is attached to the bottom side of it, used for reconnaissance and the like. There's kind of your ship, and here's kind of what the scout ship looks like. And here are your. There's your pilots. Well, is there anything anybody wants to do before you get on board? Specifically, that you'd have to do at the Stargate or the Starbase. What the hell do they call it?
What's our mission
Yeah,
again?
Stargate. Protect the civilians for 6 months, and at the end of that time, the captain of the supply ship that's going to come will determine whether or not you are to extend your stay or.
I just noticed the
Yeah, I found that.
Sorry, yeah, they're all
Yeah,
stuff on the
there's
back
something
too.
for each.
It's
Yeah.
mostly like how you feel about the other characters.
That's why you know the pencil red.
Sure.
So, is there anything anybody wants to do specifically before you get on board the
I think so.
this transport
Pretty
ship?
sure.
Who else do we have with us?
Now, are we just meeting each other? Or
No,
do we
you
know
guys
each
know.
other?
You guys know each other.
Fisk and
We got
Fisk.
Fisk, and no, this is
Flatline.
Flatline, and that's Fisk, and he's Boomer.
I'm your buddy.
So we're running Wolf's one we don't have.
and Doc Martin.
Oh,
Yeah,
no.
Doc Martin.
Which might suck.
Doc
And actually, you know, let me have Doc Martin shoot, and I'll just run him, and he'll be there as an NPC.
Okay.
Actually, I'll put both of those guys, but don't expect them to do much,
Okay.
just because this is
You
you
want me
guys'
to take
show,
her?
not theirs.
So you take them off the table, you pick one. Or is that the one you pick?
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Oh, yeah.
Kinda.
He's got the BAR guy.
We'll just take these guys off then.
Okay.
Unless you want to make Doc Martin and a running wolf or not.
Yeah, let me have them for me. Okay,
Now I spend most of my time actually somewhat following around Jackson.
okay. Do you like get underfoot? Or you just
Probably.
stay
If
nearby?
he makes a
Okay.
quick turn, I think he might reduce.
Okay, you got somebody following behind you, man. That's Flatline. He's always there at your elbow. And once you guys get aboard, you meet Chief Warrant Officer Stratton, who's the navigator, Star Lieutenant Myers, he's the pilot and he's in command, and Warrant Officer Briggs. You can see that I think we made a picture of them. I don't know who those three guys are. I stole them from offline, so.
Person boy band.
It does kind of look like a boy band, but these guys actually.
Burn Notice. I think it's a TV show, isn't it?
Is it off for notice?
Is it? I have no idea.
No, I don't think so.
Okay.
At least I've never seen them.
They're really young. I mean,
Yeah.
but all you guys look young, and they're synths too, so they're all kind of buff. And,
Who's our contact down on the planet?
um,
Or something?
the mayor.
Oh, the mayor.
Yeah, there's one guy that's in command. He's on your passenger manifest.
Remember?
Oh.
Is Reader, Heinz Reader.
Oh, this is
The passenger manifest is that one. Yeah,
Might know.
they're in alphabetical order. So.
Can we write on these? Do you care?
No, I don't care. Any of the props that are out there, if you guys want to write on them, that's what I got.
Right on this one.
This is my man right
Yes.
here.
Yes.
Um,
I walk here, and then here.
Damn it.
Just scribbling lines over here. You got a 4-year-old?
What?
Okay. Well, so we have civilians on our ship right now that we're transporting, or they're already down on the surface? I'm sorry.
You were transporting them. Right now you're in the Stargate. It's going to be a ship like this travels pretty slowly. Somebody look at 61 Cygni and tell me how many light years it is from Earth. I think it's the one with the two stars on it. It's the solar system. Does it have a distance?
61 Cygni.
Let's see how far it
61
is from
Cygni is
Sol.
here, planet. 61 Cygni, eh?
Does it see how far it is from Sol?
Yeah. Well, year.
11.4 light years.
11.4 light years. In a fast ship, you can make that in pretty quick time, comparatively. You're not sure how long this ship's going to take. You can ask the pilot. You can find that out from them, or you can check the computers if you want to actually find out before you get on board. You're going to have you're going to have 50 passengers in stasis. They remain in stasis the entire trip until the Star Lieutenant decides to bring them out of stasis and put them down on the plane. And like I said, while on board, you're under their command.
Are we able to like check out the civilians and like able to tell like their stasis pods, like how they're doing mentally, like
Mhm.
see if we get any warnings to see if anyone looks like they're
Yeah, you can check them out.
Can
The
they-
stasis
can they-
pods are in this sector here, and they're
Okay.
kind of stacked.
as long as they're in there, then they shouldn't have any ill effects, or can they still suffer from them,
Like what kind of ill effects?
like the insanity, the confusion?
No. They're safe in there from all that.
Okay.
The
okay.
the isodrive effects will not have any effect on them in there, and your crew are all synths as well as you guys, and it'll have no effect on you.
Okay.
Synths are immune to all that stuff. They're built especially to deal with it.
Gotcha.
Once aboard ship, you're led to the sleeper modules by Engineer Briggs, who then rushes back towards the drive section. And you can see that there are 5 sleeper modules. These are the sleeper modules here. Each of them has 6 bunks, so it's like triple bunks on each side. The first has been taken by the crew. The 3 Starship crew members are in this one. You guys are allowed to choose. You're assigned to the 4th, which is here, and the rest of them are empty. Usually there would be an entire. Steve, what's it called? What's 30 men called? It's not a squad. It's a.
Battalion?
No, battalions. What's it?
What?
Is there something for 30?
Brigade.
30 men?
30 men's platoon.
Is it a platoon? 30? Okay, so usually you'd have a platoon of soldiers on board one of these things, and you've got 6 guys. Well, 9 if you count the crew. You're still stowing the last of your gear when the intercom pings, ding, and the pilot's voice rings out. Launch in 90 seconds. Launch in 90 seconds. Everybody buckle in.
Hey,
I'm on my spot.
Okay. Yeah, there's places to buckle in. 90 seconds later, the ship drops away from the Stargate. Then there's a growing thrust of acceleration from the drives in the rear, and you're off towards the stars. And the pilot announces, "We are now in interstellar space. You may do whatever you want." And then clicks off. Click.
Stop cleaning your gun.
I always do that when we do a jump. It's good luck.
Instead of equipment on board.
Well,
Zero gravity.
Actually, there is gravity on these ships. They do have that. So.
Thank God. Misfire.
Okay. Anything you guys want to do? I mean, you're going to be on board for at least probably several months.
Okay.
You don't know how long exactly because nobody's asked and nobody's told you. And the pilot, you haven't even seen the pilot or the co-pilot yet. All you've seen is the engineer, Warrant Officer Briggs, who seemed a little standoffish, but it looked like he was pretty busy.
I think we should check out the ship. Maybe.
Sure. Go for it.
Sure.
So we're on the actual big ship, or we're on the?
You're on this
We're
thing.
the-
Okay. Okay.
This thing is slung underneath it
Okay.
and connected to it, and it's supposed to be used as a reconnaissance vessel if need be.
Oh, so we just took off from the space station.
Yes, yeah, sorry.
Okay.
Maybe I wasn't clear yet. You were in the space
Sorry,
station, the ship was hooked up to it, fell away from it,
Okay.
took off, and then went to the isolate drive.
Gotcha.
So
So everybody's in their pods,
Yes.
supposedly. I guess I'll double check on that, make sure there's nothing.
Yeah, you can do that.
going on.
So you're going to check on the pods. You want to take a look around the ship. Is anybody going to go with either one of them?
I'll go with him.
Jackson and Fisk.
I'll go with Fisk.
You going with Fisk? What's
I'll go
Flatline doing?
I'm crying because we're moving faster than radio waves and I can't use my radio waves.
Flatline's so emotional. Okay. So you guys pretty much all wandered back except for you. You're going to hang out here for now. This is like the an area. There's showers in here. There's tables for meals and stuff like that. Here's all the stasis chambers. You stop in there. You starting to look over the. Basically, you checking against the cargo manifest. It's all the tubes, pretty much.
Animals.
The animals aren't in stasis actually, except for there's a dog and a cat.
Yeah.
But there's also there are they've
Safe
taken
regard.
cloning to an art form, and there's actually cloning machinery back here, and they've got the eggs and the sperm for cattle, sheep, that kind of stuff that can then be cloned once you guys reach planet surface. The machinery actually go with the colony, so you don't have to actually take the cattle. You can basically build them on the
That's pretty
surface.
cool.
So it takes up a lot less room. This is actually pretty much open. All these walls and stuff aren't here. Looks like this cargo area has been stripped out and it's full of gear. There's seeds. There's all kinds. There's synthetic housing units that can be constructed in fairly quick fashion. That kind of thing. There's even a couple of very small vehicles like ATVs, just in case they're needed. And pretty much, you guys know that everything is going to end up being offloaded from the cargo hold. It's going to be staying with the colony, just everything. That'll be empty for the trip back. You don't find anything that seems out of the ordinary, unusual. Everything seems to be working as well as can be expected. I mean, these ships are. You saw a picture. It's just kind of a piece of junk. But it's brand new, but it still looks like crap because they're just built to work. They're not built to look cool or anything like that. You don't find anything out of the ordinary. You find the airlock door to where the shuttlecraft is, or to where the scout is, and it's locked off with a security lock. You go back to engineering. I mean, this takes a few hours, just kind of looking over all the stuff, checking out what they got.
I check everything.
Okay. He's heading back to engineering.
I'm
head
not
back.
done.
Okay.
He's
You get
what I
back
hang
there,
out with.
there's all kinds of electricity moving around, big noises, a low growl that kind of rumbles through the whole ship. Oh, I have a special effect that I should put in. And Briggs is back there, and he's working on something. He's checking. He's like, "What are you guys doing back here? Get out! Get out! Go on! Go on! Go on! Go!" Are you guys just standing there looking at him? Okay. Yeah, thanks for visiting. It's very nice seeing you. I'll see you at supper. And then he goes back to what he's working on. And
Stop it.
but you don't see anything out of the ordinary on the ship. It's just typical Earth ship, not armed. You guys have not run into anybody. There's been no encounters with any kind of aliens.
Other weapon systems on the ship.
Basically, everything's small arms.
What about computer systems? I mean, is there-
Yeah, there's extensive computer systems. You guys have all kinds of computer stuff. There's tons of games. There's tons of books. So you have stuff to pass the time if you want to do it.
I try to make, whenever we have time, I'm gonna try to make homing signals.
Oh yeah. Okay. Like how so? What do you want to
If I find the materials to make them,
Mhm.
I want to. You said there's like ATVs and things like that.
Yeah. There's
I want them all
Couple.
to have homing signals on them.
okay. Are you wanting something that radar will pick up, or something that just will determine distance and something simple that'll determine distance and like
Direction.
Direction. Okay. So if you can pull a thing out, it'll give you a ping.
Sure.
But he's that way, and your estimate is 2 miles or whatever. Yeah.
So
So
I
you can be working on that.
have
You have plenty
computer
of time.
skills.
Okay.
Or system is my skills.
Yeah, you can pretty much plunder some of the colonists'
That's what
electronics and still not hardly put a dent in it because this is full. I mean, there's just a ton of stuff in
That's
here.
what I mean. Just like walking like this time.
Yeah, it's very tight in there actually. You meet the crew; they're a little standoffish. The star lieutenant and the navigator, they all outrank you guys because they actually are. Well, the star lieutenant's actually kind of an officer, but he's not. It's just one of the higher rankings of the simp ones, and they have meals with you guys, but otherwise they don't really deal with you too much. Doc Martin, there's him, and Running Wolf.
Yeah.
I don't know how these guys. What do you guys think about them?
Doc Martin's my best buddy.
Is he?
He must be likable.
Boomer is your best friend on the squad. Okay. Oh, that's right, Judith. Okay. Jackson's in charge. Let's see what Running Wolf. Ah.
What was Running Wolf's story?
Native American.
Yeah, he's pretty quiet. He doesn't do a lot of talking. The first month slipped by without incident. Okay. Adam, you're going to keep checking the stasis chambers every once in a while?
Yeah.
The first month slips by without incident. Then the second month. Then the third, the fourth, fifth, sixth, the seventh, the eighth. Halfway through the 13th month,
Wow.
yeah, all ship's power suddenly goes off. Click. Light, heat, air circulation, even gravity all die unexpectedly.
Dun, dun, dun.
Let's see if I can make this work. Immediately, immediately dim red emergency lights go on with a blaring klaxon, and the engineer comes flying down from the direction of the first sleeper heading towards the drive section. There's a panicked look on Briggs's face. Let's see. There you go. That starts blaring. What are you guys doing? Okay. He's heading
I'm
down.
grabbing a gun.
You're grabbing a gun. You're looking at it. You're actually in there. You saw him just go, and just all the windows and all the pods just go blank. And the red power completely went out. Hey, buddy. Hey, everybody. Hey, Mister. She sees you all the time. Yeah, it's been way too long. This is going. You're heading after Briggs. What are you doing?
I'm assuming it probably comes from engineering or something I can do.
Okay. Briggs busts in to the sleep pod where you are. You're kind of panicking because these people are gonna die.
Right.
He almost runs into oh, make a reflexes roll. Yeah, you have to get through first. Roll one. It's a center dice. You want to roll your reflexes or anger. Make it? No. Okay. He slams into you. Fade slams into you. You both kind of go to one side, and he recovers quickly and curses. So, damn it, get out of my way! And then he runs on through. You're fine. You're going to hit that guy too. Yes, sir.
He knows that word's appropriate.
Oh, okay, cool.
Interesting.
Okay, so Briggs sprints through the cargo section, gets to the engineering section, gets those doors open very quickly. But you're not too far behind him, you're a little further behind them both. Steve, which weapon did you want to get ready? Okay, you get your pistol, you check the mag, you check it, you prepare it. Get a bullet, chamber round, and now you're looking around for some shit. Adam, are you still staying? Are you still staying in the stasis chamber after they crash? Briggs ran into you.
Right.
This guy was behind him, and then maybe 5 seconds later, you saw Flatline back that way too.
I guess I'll follow them.
Briggs is working on the system. When you ask him, he says the squads have shut down for no apparent reason, and with them every system aboard the ship, including the stasis pods. And right now he's trying to restart main drives and pretty much get the ship open again. Oh, you got some red emergency lights and this stupid klaxon that seems to be just going on and on. It takes him about 10 minutes to get the power restored. And then he's got to reboot the stasis pod, he's got to reboot the central computer and the stasis pods. And that takes an additional 5 or 10 minutes.
This thing goes off.
No, it was working very well. And main lights come up and all those little red emergency lights go off after that. And Briggs is still working on the computer and going and checking on the drives. He's starting to check all the drives. He's really not been talking to you guys at all. He's been just focused on trying to get everything working again. What are you guys doing?
Ask him if there's anything we can do to help. What's the best thing we can do to help?
Go check the stasis pods. Make sure those guys are okay. And then he gets right back to work. What do you guys do? Okay. You head back up. You start checking the stasis pods. It looks like the 2 of them did not reboot correctly, and they're reading flatline. They're dead. One is John Archer, and the other one is the ship's cat, or the colony's cat. Oh, okay, yeah. The livestock embryos are actually in stasis pods too, so they're back. They're in this section too, and the 3 pods worth of livestock embryos are fine.
Okay.
I'm gonna go talk to the pilots or whatever, ask him if they know of anything else
Okay.
going on.
You go up and the door won't open.
Okay.
You guys really don't have access to the bridge.
Is there like intercom?
Yeah. There's an intercom next to the door that you can put.
All right. I'll. What's their name again?
Star Lieutenant Myers and Chief Warrant Officer Stratton. It's the pilot navigator.
Okay. I'm ready. So Lieutenant Myers, this is Jackson. I'm checking on your condition. Is everything okay in there?
Yeah. Hold on. A few seconds later, the door opens up. He goes, yeah, we're fine.
Do you have any idea what happened?
No. The drives just stopped working. We'd have to ask Briggs. I'm expecting a full report from him once he gets back up here.
Okay. You hear
Did we
anything?
lose?
Just keep me
Did we lose anybody?
We lost 2.
Ah,
Cat.
damn it.
Somebody
A
else.
cat?
John
Cat.
Archer.
And John Archer.
John Archer. What was he? Was he like important?
Cook.
The cook?
We lost the cook.
Well, could have been worse, I guess. Could have lost somebody important, but that sucks. Okay, well, we'll hang on to him. We'll turn the pod back on, make sure it's at least keeping him frozen, and the colonists can decide what to do with him. So, now, if Briggs finds out anything, sometimes these drives just kind of just gestures at the ship, like,
Well, when you get stuff built by the most bigger.
Liberty ships.
Yeah.
Okay. In the end, Briggs can't figure out what actually happened. There was a glitch in the system or something. But everything seems to be. Bye, guys.
Have a good weekend, guys. Have fun.
You too. Well,
My
sorry.
condolences.
Yeah, same here.
No problem.
We hope we get to see you sometime.
I hope so.
Okay. It was some kind of glitch or something. There's nothing specifically wrong. He doesn't think it's going to happen again. He's going to keep a closer eye on all the engineering systems.
Could have been like sabotage or.
No, it would take 15 months to.
It's possible.
The
It's
program
not
might have,
likely.
the program might have been set up to not turn on until.
I mean, you guys good with computers? Can you check that out?
Could you show me what you did?
You just asking Briggs then?
Yes.
What do you mean?
What you did to bring it back up?
Oh, no, I just rebooted the entire system, and yeah, come on, I'll show you. He shows you, and basically it was a reboot of the computer system to keep the drives going. It just, for whatever reason, shut down. He doesn't think it's radiation. He doesn't think that it was. He doesn't know about sabotage. It'd have to be a pretty intricate program if it was what
Sure.
Boomer suggested. But
I'm not too sure about his ideas anymore.
well, all I know is sometimes these ISO drives, nobody really knows how they work. I mean, I know how to service it, but I don't know the physics behind it. It's that mind-boggling stuff. So I don't know. I don't know what happened, and I'm hoping it doesn't happen again. And I'm gonna keep a closer eye on it. That's all I got.
All right.
And Myers says, "Okay, sounds good. Don't let it happen."
Well, Baxter, how could you
Yeah.
Should have shot something.
The warrant officer who's at Stratton's like, yeah, be careful around that thing. We don't want to depressurize.
There's a dead guy.
No.
The next-
I was hoping to repel some borders, but not this time.
Stratton's like, no, we don't want to raid borders. Wait till we get planet side. I'm sure you'll have plenty of things to kill.
So I heard my pay.
You get paid?
Yeah, you guys all get
We
paid.
all get paid.
Yeah, you get paid. It's not much, but you get paid. But the fact of the matter is your food, your lodgings, your
We get
clothes.
$4 a month a week.
Yeah.
Just payments.
Let's
Yeah,
not-
there's
it's like
plenty on the-
fourth line.
Income, $100.
You probably make
That's
more.
a month.
Yeah.
You probably make more.
Yeah, but keep in mind you're not real people in the first place, and you don't really have any expenses.
Right.
Yeah.
Where are we going to spend it?
Yeah, exactly. So there was the black
Buy a
market
new cat.
on the Stargate. Gosh,
See?
it's not a bad idea. 2 months
Land.
later.
Payments.
Yeah, 2 months later, the journey is over. It was actually 15.45 months, 463 days. That's how long this ship took to get there. You stand at a viewport, looking down a very green road with stripes of clouds. And I think you guys have a survey report there on the planetary thing. The only things that it said was the planet's habitable areas are primarily rainforest, largest herbivores equivalent to a gazelle. It's only aggressive when threatened. And in 3 whole days of surveying, the survey of the entire planet was a 3-day thing by a squad of 4. They found the largest carnivore was roughly the size and shape of a badger.
That's military intelligence.
Yeah.
Contradiction in terms. Luckily I have this and I pat my
All his weapons.
Yeah.
That's my flamethrower. That's my rocket launcher. What weapons does your guy have?
I have a combat knife, heavy pistol,
Mhm.
grenade launcher, assload of grenades,
You have an assault rifle?
flamethrower.
No, you're the heavy weapons guy.
No.
Boom. That makes sense.
I
Okay,
like to make things go boom.
there you go. Once orbit's established, the co-pilot, that's Garrett Stratton, comes looking for you. He says, grab your gear and come along with me. We're going to go find a suitable landing spot. And he leads you towards the back of the ship to the
Squad thing. The
scout, yeah, where you see the airlock's already open, and Myers is already down there getting the scout set up. Oh wait, no, Myers isn't going. Stratton's going by himself. Stratton takes the pilot seat. He gestures you to sit in the co-pilot seat.
Okay.
The rest of you pretty much have to stand in the drive corridor.
Is there any weapons on this thing?
Nope. There's straps that hang down from the ceilings though for you to hold on to. Woo! Running Wolf and Martin look a little unnerved by the whole thing. He leans back. He says, "Somebody close that airlock so we don't all die." Okay. Okay. You seal it up. He gets everything powered up, and you guys can see out. He's got the door between the standing section where you guys are pretty much in the drive room and the front open, so you can see out the windows. And he pushes a few buttons, and he says, "Okay, is everybody ready?"
Let's do this!
Okay, 3, click, and then you drop away.
Woohoo!
He pretty much just drops you, and you see the planet come up, and he heads just straight for it, and it just gets big really, really fast. It just,
Come on, baby, faster, 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 faster.
he drops down to treetop level, and then he starts skimming just above the trees. It's a rough ride, especially since you guys are standing
The whole
back.
time I'm just
You're just screaming, "Woo!"
yeah.
Okay. Doc Martin looks kind of,
It'd be okay, Doc.
and Running Wolf is
You
just
stay
looking
close
down
to
at his
me.
feet. This lasts for an hour. You're strapped in, so you're in a good seat.
Right.
After an hour, he drops the ship into an open meadow, brings it in, just ass kiss him to somebody, and lands it. Shuts the ship down for the most part, and pushes a button that cycles you guys hear the lower airlock door click. He says, "Okay, let's take a look."
Woohoo! Let's earn our pay!
You're the first one
Yeah,
out.
I grab my grenade launcher and
Okay.
just jump out
So
and just
open up and jump, drop. It's about a 6-foot drop.
jump down the light.
Okay. He goes out and who's going after him?
Now.
Okay. There is actually you push a button on the side and a little ladder extends for you to climb out.
Okay.
Unless you want to jump out. Okay. You guys climb out. Stratton follows you. He's last. He's armed. He just has his side on. And you guys, what do you have weapons out?
Yeah. Assault rifle.
Assault rifle. Assault rifle. What do you got?
I'm just checking my radio to see if there's any kind of signal or anything.
Okay. You're not picking up any interference or anything.
I mean, there's nobody talking, I realize.
No, you get no talking. You can actually call up to the ship if you want, just to kind of verify that there's radio signal between you two if you want to do that.
I do that.
It only takes a few minutes. Stratton comes over to you and starts talking to you about the site. And you guys I'm assuming you guys kind of spread out. Well, you're right near the ship then, right?
Right.
Doc Martin is also moved out. He's armed with.
I don't pull my weapon.
He has an assault rifle, actually.
I'm as close to Doc as I can be. But, we're spread out. But
Okay, right. I got you. As for everybody, he's the closest to you.
Yeah.
Pretty much. Okay. And it looks like Running Wolf has a sniper laser rifle. Nice. All Stratton's got side on. Looks like a heavy pistol. He's talking with you. We talked for a few minutes. He's on with some work. The trees are too close. It's not big enough for me to be able to get the ship in. And I don't think there'd be room for the prefab. They call it a town hall, but it's basically the first building that gets put up. I don't think there's going to be room for that either.
Okay.
So we're going to have to keep looking.
Just got on ship still? Do you want to do it by foot?
No, we probably just start going on the ship. It's going to be easier. And this is the first place I've spotted in this hour. We've been going about 200 clicks an hour. You know that. You got them. So if you gather your squad, we'll mount back up and keep looking.
All right, boys, let's get back on and find a different spot.
Let's go, Doc.
Doc's coming.
I am the last one on.
Okay. Are you
Not
the
the
first
whole
one
time.
on?
I'm like,
Sure. Stratton was actually the first one on, but you pop right up in there too. Okay.
Yeah, sometimes I like that you're this crazy.
Okay, so you're the last one on board.
Yeah.
You close down the airlock hatch.
Yep.
Dog it. Up in front, you see the green light. He presses some buttons, and the green light comes on to verify the seal. And then he takes off again, and then you guys hover for just a few moments, and then also
Here we go.
And he just
Woohoo!
this actually continues for most of the day. Near nightfall,
well, I won't be doing it all day.
yeah, you. But you still.
Yeah.
Oh!
Yeah.
Look out! What's the day length on that thing? On the planetary.
Oh.
Say?
31 hours
Okay. Yeah.
your day.
So it's probably like 10 to 12 hours later when you guys near nightfall when You put down another much larger clearing. You disembark again. Start looking around. Are you guys down the perimeter again?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Same as last time.
Okay. Hey, everybody roll me a will check. How about that? Will's up under your attributes. You want to roll percent of dice and try to roll that or less. Tell me who gets close, who gets the highest number without going over your will. How about that? I'm sorry.
I rolled 48. I rolled exactly my will.
You rolled your will? Okay. So 48. So, but if somebody has a higher
99.
Okay.
Way
You're
out.
way away.
26.
I'll check the two for the
Just the opposite.
31. So okay, Steve, there you notice there's a rank odor blowing in from the trees, and a stealthy but heavy rustling among the trees.
Something's coming.
Okay, you hear him yell that from the other side of the clearing, which is way over there.
Okay.
Now,
Start.
these are okay. These weapons,
Mhm.
they're not. They're like weapons now. They're chambered. They're bullets. They're not
Yes.
like okay.
Yeah.
They're not like a pulse cannon, but they call it a grenade launcher.
No. The only one is the laser. They have lasers. Like this guy's got a laser sniper rifle,
Yeah.
which that's the only futuristic one. The others they're better because they've got rangefinders on them. They've got devices that kind of help secure them as far as like making them less shaky. But otherwise, yeah, you're looking at the same basic stuff.
Yeah.
Grenade launchers launch
Okay.
a physical grenade that explodes on impact. Flamethrower fires flames just like a regular one. Assault rifles fire bullets. Is that your? What is that? The grenade launcher. Okay. Yeah, you guys hear him chamber.
Lock and load, baby!
Check that trigger finger, Boomer. See this
Okay, you
planet
did that
mostly
from across.
intact.
Let's leave this planet mostly intact.
Zero lets me have it.
Here's one of these guys is Doc Martin. Yeah, put your mini right there and put yours over there. Here's Doc. He's kind of close to you. This is not super accurate as far as range. Here's Running Wolf. He's got the submachine gun, at least the medium does.
Okay.
And we use this guy because he'll stand out as Garrett or Everett. He's talking to you. I see him rolling in each time. Stratton. Yeah, I kept calling him that.
Is the ship here?
Yeah, the ship's in the center.
Okay.
Because he landed towards the center and you guys have spread out. But each square is actually probably closer to 30 yards, considering how large the area is. So that's just to kind of represent where you were. And he's the one, lock and load. So it's a few football fields wide.
What do we got around us? Just all trees?
Yes, it's tropical. It's very humid. You guys start sweating as soon as you hit the ground. You got these weird reddish trees that resemble pine trees, but with fronds like a palm tree.
Okay.
You know what I mean? It's like weird fronds
Okay.
coming down instead of pine needles and that kind of stuff. And
It's like a fern tree.
kind of like a fir tree, but with
Fern neck.
Oh yeah, okay, yeah, like kind of like a fern tree, but it's got a reddish, bluish tint to it. And there is something big moving in the undergrowth, and you haven't gotten a good look at it yet.
Doc, stay behind me.
Where is Doc? There's Doc. Okay.
What do you see, Boomer?
I don't see nothing, but I smell it and I hear it.
I'm sorry, head that way.
Okay. Stratton's. He's heading for this. Do you guys all move that direction?
Yeah, I'm gonna like post
So
up
now we're
here.
going to knock this down to feet. And you guys are getting on this side of the clearing. When something. You were just holding your ground. You weren't moving up, but you weren't moving back.
No, I stood right there and,
Okay.
and I told Doc to get behind me.
Okay, we can do a little bit of combat here. On your character sheet, let's see.
Is initiative down at the very bottom of your equipment?
Yeah, wait.
I saw something that's initiative.
Yeah. Let me double check these rules. Combat.
Roll
See
for
what you're
advantage.
supposed to do here.
First round, roll for advantage.
Well, both you guys know it's there. He's alerted you, and it didn't attack before you guys started heading over that way. So what you're supposed to do is you clear actions first before you figure out what initiative is.
Okay.
So far you can't see the creature, but you know it's. You think you know.
Did we
it's
get
there,
this whiff
so
of
you-
the smell yet? When we
Yes.
use those?
Yeah. Once you get over that direction, you can smell it. Is this you, Adam?
Yeah.
Okay. These are 5-foot squares now.
Okay. I just want to make sure I'm somewhat near the ship. The ship goes bad.
So you're supposed to clear your actions before you actually roll initiative.
Okay.
So we can just go around, and once you clear your action, make sure you kind of keep it in your head.
Okay.
What are you planning on doing?
I've already got my weapon out, right? So
Yes, I'm assuming everybody has guns in hands. They're cocked.
I guess I'm going to put sights on the target and identify it, and then if it seems hostile, I'll shoot.
Okay.
If I'm unsure, I'll hold my action.
Are you going to head that way too, or are you? Just...
No, I'm going to stay back and just
Okay.
try to watch my squad.
Okay. Okay.
Gonna
What are
stay
you
over here by Boom.
Whoa.
And oops, sorry. Face the direction he, well, probably smell it myself.
Yeah, you
It's
do.
the same way.
Okay.
The assault rifle has grenade launcher on it.
I think it is too.
And your assault rifles, you can do aimed fire, which you get a number of shots that's listed with your weapon. The assault rifle is a rate of fire 5. Consider those aimed shots.
Okay.
Each round is 10 seconds. Oh wait, with aimed shots, you are just firing one shot, but you're going to get a bonus of 15% because you're just taking that shot and trying to hit with it. Snap fire is the multiple quickly aimed shots. That's regular, but that is the number of attacks that's listed, which should be 5 for the assault rifle.
Okay.
Burst fire is similar to snap fire, but instead of firing single shots, you're squeezing off short bursts. There's a -10 penalty to your firearm skill shoot doing this. You guys don't have to remember this, I'm just throwing it out there. If you're standing still, -30 if you're walking while you're firing. No, sorry. There's -10 if you're walking, -30 if you're running. And the burst fire doubles the weapon's damage rating and increases the lethality by 1. And then there is and then the number there, that times 8 or whatever. I believe that's how many bullets that chews up. Might be on one of the cheat sheets.
You what again?
It might be on one of the cheat sheets what it actually does. Okay.
Okay, I got a question.
Okay.
It says grenade launcher mag 15, so I got 15 rounds, right?
Yes.
What's ROF?
Rate of fire.
Rate of fire.
You only shoot one per round.
Okay, damage by round.
See grenades. Which I think
Okay.
What's
So
the
many single
flesh?
shots.
What's the flechette? It doesn't say how many I got. 400 flechette.
they're all 15 rounds.
Flechette rounds. Those are
The flechette does 2d8.
for launcher. Huh.
Where? See, I,
The grenade launcher.
Right here.
oh, this helps
Yeah,
better.
you got one.
Do you have a grenade launcher on your? You guys have grenade launchers on your assault rifles?
Yes.
Okay.
Grenade
That's
launcher
what I
on
thought.
rifle. Here's your flechette. The grenade launcher, flechette, does 2d8.
Okay.
Lots of
15
numbers.
and one.
400.
Yeah, range is
here we go.
25, 75.
I must have got 15 flechette. then.
Even this
Okay.
here.
Yeah, with the numbers for like the assault rifle, the first number is how many single shots you can fire with a snap fire. So that's no bonuses or penalties unless you're walking or running. Just bang, bang, bang. The second is how many rounds of ammunition are expended in a burst. So if you have times 8, that means it expends 8 rounds when you do burst fire.
What's the slash
The
25?
third is how many rounds are expended in a turn for auto fire. So if you do auto fire, which auto fire is just unloading, and it quadruples the weapon's damage rating, increases lethality by 3. If you're the detriments are increased difficulty in aiming and the extreme rapid depletion of ammunition. Because that's how many shells are used if you do total pure auto fire. So you got a choice of aim fire, which is basically one shot, the snap fire, which is going to be however many shots are in that first number. 5 shots, boom, 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 boom. The burst, and that's how much it chews up there, that 12. and then the or the 8, and and then the last number is if you do total auto fire, which is unloading. So if there's any
For
other
skills,
questions-
is there stuff like feats and stuff in this, or is it just saying?
no, your skills are going to be based on your attributes.
Okay.
So you want to roll your attribute or less. And
They're
I
just
think the attributes are listed next to the skill.
Right. And you're just showing what more likely you'd have to reference to for your character.
Yes.
You don't have
Yeah,
any
yeah.
damage in those.
And I think it's listed on your sheets. What's this one here? Each of your weapons has computer-assisted targeting, which will add an additional 5% when you're firing with it. And I think that's all you've really got. And
That's okay.
okay.
It's like, no, I need yours.
Yeah, and the ranges
I'm
listed
bad
on
at
this one sheet are the ranges are on.
We're tied to your wrist.
Ranges
I'm taking my
the
dice
ranges
back.
are listed for short, medium, and long range. And then extreme range is everything above your highest range to line of sight. Because with the computer assisted stuff, you can hit stuff considerably further away than we could now today
Gotcha.
in the 20th century. So, what are you going to do? What is your intention for this?
My
round?
intention is to hold
Mhm.
until it starts to become aggressive, and I'm gonna open fire.
Okay. What is your intention this round?
I realize I'm standing over here by myself pretty much. So I'm going to put my attention to this area,
Okay.
just in case. And I say over my shoulder, Boomer, we can only be sent once.
Yeah.
Okay. Initiative is figured by everybody rolling a 10-sided die.
Plus 1/10 in reflex.
Yes.
Plus one for what? Every
Plus
Plus
1/10 of
digit.
your reflex.
Plus 1/10.
Yeah, the 10s
Okay.
digit. For whatever your 10s digit is for your reflex. And that's per round, and that's per individual.
Plus, since I'm wearing this body armor, helmet, ray, and transponder, I get a +1 to my initiative, right?
Yeah, that's what I was looking at. Body armor, helmet, array, transponder, says damage +6, parentheses 4, and then initiative +1.
You good? Yeah, I think we all got that.
Yeah, I think what you're saying.
11. Wow.
So 1/10 of your reflex?
Body armor.
Yeah, so what's your
Like my
reflex?
reflex is 60.
62.
So
So
it's a
6.
six.
So that's
Okay.
Whatever your
So
10's
that's
number
7
is.
to everything. Okay.
What's it saying in their body armor? Body armor should reduce any ranged fire attacks against you by 6 points.
Right.
And is there a 4 there too?
Right. Yep.
That lowers the lethality rating by 4.
You good?
Now this is for ranged weaponry coming at you. This won't be the same for like things trying to
So
claw
what's
at you.
a helmet array do?
And it inflicts a penalty of -1 to all initiative rolls. So keep that in mind.
The helmet does?
The body armor does.
Alright, what's a helmet array and transponder give us?
Okay,
Because we
let's
show
see.
+1 on this.
Here's the cat.
Oh, so the
We got
plus one's
that.
actually minus.
Yeah, it should be a -1 for the body.
Well,
armor.
unless, yeah, I'm just,
Helmet array.
yeah.
Okay. Blah, 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 blah.
'Cause I'm
Lightweight
not
helmet
targeting or
mounts
something,
this, blah, blah, blah. Communicator and small microphone, vital signs indicator. Yeah, pretty much that shouldn't have any modifiers.
Okay.
That's pretty much it. It's a communicator. You've got
transponder
a
is-
communicator. You've
Okay.
got a camera in there.
Okay, so that's -1 then.
Right.
Yeah, it should be -1, not +1.
Okay.
That's in error.
And initiative, obviously the higher the better, right?
Yes. Yeah,
Okay.
you want high.
You don't start like 1, 2, 3.
Yeah, no. It goes from high to low. Let's see what this thing's got for its reflex.
Roll.
Okay. Here we go. Where'd the bell go? There it is.
Second head.
Okay.
Oh,
So,
makes sense.
I like that.
I like both.
Alright.
They got
Get
both
some
of them have both have their advantages.
Right.
No, but else, I don't like fourth.
I've heard about it though. It sounds
It sounds awful.
Yeah.
From what I've heard, it sounds like it's a video game. I'm gonna play a video game. I'll play a video
That's
game.
what everybody says.
Okay, what did you roll for initiative in this round?
I've got just my. Well, I just had 5 to everything, don't I?
Yes.
14.
So 14 is Jackson. What about
Fisk is 8.
8?
Shit.
Fisk,
11.
11. A Boomer.
Flatline is 13.
I'm gonna say Running Wolf and Doc Martin are not gonna be involved in this combat.
Chickens.
They're gonna be caught flat-footed or whatever. Just so I don't have to deal with them.
No, Doc's pretty much just going to run around doing that.
So Jackson, you were prepping to fire, and something comes out of the brush, heading towards Boomer. It looks like a big badger. It's actually about the size of a bear, though. So much for the
It's
reconnaissance
really
report.
far away. Good solid.
There's a white, in that box there, there's a cardboard box.
A dire badger in there.
That box?
It makes this squealing, screaming noise as it bursts out. Yeah.
Bear.
Wow, that's
Yeah.
a big bear. And goes for Boomer.
Well, he's carrying a flamethrower. It's,
Actually, he's got a
Smoky
rock-
bear.
he's got a-
He's got a smoky- Get put that out.
Your grenade launcher, that might not be good right now.
Yeah. Well, no, I'm shooting flechettes, so it's not
Oh, it's just
explosive.
That's good. So you
It's
can
like
do
a-
a close range
It's
without
like a shotgun.
killing yourself.
gotcha.
Somebody's outside the window. It's scary.
They're peeking.
Go away. We're not open. Come on.
Oh, it's probably the neighbors to make sure nothing's going on.
Give me all your money. And who is it? Anybody know? Anybody know?
Hello. Bailey.
Hey, do you guys know if Shorts is open on Saturday?
I have
No idea. I don't know. I'm sorry.
Okay.
Real man.
DJ!
You're welcome.
Which?
Yeah.
What is
Is
short?
Shorts open on Saturday?
insurance agency.
Who?
Shorts? Are they open on Saturday, do you know?
Next door?
Sometimes. I'm not normally here on Saturdays. But yeah, I've seen, but I've had him see if no one comes in, I don't think he stays real late if he does.
Yeah, okay, thank you.
All right.
Okay. So, he just slashed at you.
For next door.
Like,
You don't want none of this.
This
The
old
lady
lady.
probably thought-
what are you doing in there? Who's playing the
Sickos.
Those guys were evil. They were playing the Dungeons and the Dragons.
I was scared for my life, but we must go to church now and pray for their souls.
The good thing you just
Surprise
erased that
attack,
pentagram, you know, it would have been really bad.
Oh, good.
Okay, give me a second. I'm trying to find the damn.
Yeah.
Random old lady sucks.
Don't you mind.
What? The police report?
The random old lady.
I was going to make a cat almost broke her arm.
What?
Cat almost broke her arm.
Oh, really?
She's included on the belt and she closed the door right on the cat's arm.
Ooh.
Almost can't hold it back this time. But that'll look really good. How'd you make her arm? I got slammed bro. Well, I got slammed bro. She's the other one with the belt.
Yeah, that looks
Collateral
awesome.
damage.
Yeah. We were playing. 'Cause I told them we weren't allowed to like Twisted Jasmine.
You weren't allowed to vote, dude. What?
Like Princess Jasmine.
Yeah.
So they got mad at you?
No, I got mad at them. That's what she's about.
Sorry for the delay, guys. I'm trying to find this.
We're learning.
Right, we're getting ready to kill something too, huh? Man. How's that feel?
I'm at point blank
Trying to
range. I
find-
should not miss.
Yeah, there's some bonuses for that.
So it was a grenade launcher with flag. Unless you go.
Oh,
Yeah.
crap.
Oh. Just want to cross this game. Some rules in this one.
So this is the new Underworld. I'll show you to the werewolf now.
Freaking winter times.
Because the new one, the werewolves have developed a way to withstand so. And so the vampires are trying to kill them, they can't kill them.
Huh.
So she's at point blank range, and she goes into this room where, because he's so big, he's like 3 times as big as a normal werewolf. So he has to get back down to a human so he can get through the doorway or whatever. When he does, she has this silver grenade, shoves it into his chest, and lets go.
Alright.
And he instantly heals it back up. And he's like, I heal up. She goes, I was expecting that. And the grenade goes off inside of him.
Jeez.
You can't heal from that.
No. That's pretty cool.
I think we saw Acts of Valor last week.
How was that?
That's good. That's a good one.
Okay.
That's really good.
One with the active military, whatever
Yeah.
the whole
The
thing
Navy
is.
SEALs.
Yeah. That's wife sitting beside me, and she's not one of those emotional chicks. But by the about to the end of it, she's just bawling her eyeballs out. Two ladies down the aisle, they're bawling their eyeballs out. And I'm going, whoa, that's cool. You saw John Carter last week, too.
How was that?
I liked it. The ratings on it weren't very good, but I liked it.
They should all be naked.
Naked's
She was
always-
All
clothes.
naked.
She was-
In the original books, they were always all. Nobody wore clothes on Mars.
I don't know. What she was wearing was almost as good. You know?
No, she needs
It
to
just
be
gives
naked.
you that imagination.
John Carter should be flopping around out there trying to kill them.
You know, I'm reading a book right now called.
Oh, everybody should be naked. Nobody wore clothes on Mars.
So I forget the name of the book I'm
Couldn't
reading.
find one.
Infinite Duplicity or something like that. But in the book, everybody's naked because it's in the future, and only humans are allowed to wear clothes. Or yeah, humans are considered overlords, and then people from other planets, which are still human, but they're all serfs. You know, they're all whatever. So they're not allowed to wear clothes. And I'm thinking, did a 14-year-old write this book or what? You know?
Yeah.
Right.
They can
hide it
everywhere.
Okay. here we go.
Ouch. Dun, dun, dun.
One's digit, less than. All right. If your one's digit's equal to or less than your lethality rating, it goes to body as opposed to stamina. That's the whole thing I was looking for, and there's no wrong book. So, Steve, this is coming from your body because he just hit you.
Okay.
You take 3 points of damage. So it actually slashes you. Your combat armor is built to take damage. It cuts through it as opposed to ballistic. So it doesn't really help you out there. And you were ready to fire, and you go on. Oh, Jackson, you were at the same time, so you can get a shot off if you want. On
Okay.
14.
Sure.
You
You said the burst damage, like you, if I'm standing still, I don't take any minuses on that, do I?
Right. That is
Okay.
correct. Now,
Let's wrap this
he's
up.
right between you and the thing,
You know,
so
paper.
It doesn't
Don't
tower
miss
over
by a
like
lot.
that.
It does somewhat, but
Okay.
you're about 16 inches.
If I just
that's
do this-
about 40 feet away.
If I just do snap fire, do I get
What you
bonuses
say?
to that?
No.
I was trying to
I
find one that wasn't
don't think so.
full of pictures.
If you do the aim fire, then there's no chance you'll hit friend. I'm going to make that
No,
call.
Okay.
If you just wait and take that one good shot, if you do snap fire, there's a chance you'll hit him. What's your range on those assault rifles, guys? What's the lowest number?
100.
100 meters? Okay.
Yeah.
So you're within short range, definitely, because he's only 80 feet. He's only is like less than 20 meters away.
Gotcha.
So what do you want to do? Fully automatic.
You guys shooting right in my way.
I'm gonna try to do the burst fire. Screw it.
Okay.
Sounds more. Always got to.
Okay.
In my bag in there is a top. So.
Short range, you get a plus 5% from your combat,
Right.
from your computer assisted. So
5% to what, my
to your
reflex?
reflex.
Okay.
Okay, so PFC opens up and roll see you hit.
Percentage, right?
Yes, you want to roll that or less?
Oh.
Did you miss?
I missed.
Uh-oh.
I get. Yeah.
How bad did you miss by?
By 20. see. Isn't
Okay. Oh, and what was your one's number? What was your one's number?
my one's number
Was
was
it less
2.
than the lethality number for your assault rifle?
What was the first thing for lethality?
There should be another number next to the in parentheses next to your assault rifle.
Like says 3D. Like
Oh, yes, it was.
It's less than that number. Okay, so this is lethal damage that you're inflicting on, depending on who you hit here.
Okay.
So Steve might take it in the back.
I know burst fire you get increased lethality or something like that.
Oh, that's right. Well, yeah, and that it doesn't matter because you're
Okay.
running lethality anyway. So, so your damage is what I say. It's double damage. Do me another roll. We'll see if you hit Steve. If this is a successful roll, then you hit Steve.
Okay.
You will.
Get up.
And the lethality.
Oh,
Did you hit him?
1%.
Somebody shot you in the back. So double damage, double your damage. Steve, your armor will protect you from this.
Yeah.
It's 9 points, isn't it?
My
Didn't we
arm-
say the combat armor was 9 points?
Plus 6 parentheses 4, right?
Yeah. Oh, it lowers the lethality reading by 4. Did you beat your lethality by 4 points? remember?
It would have been at 4.
At 4. Okay, we're gonna say this isn't gonna be lethal then. So you knock off 6 points, and this will come from your whatever the other one is. Stamina. Yeah.
Okay.
So Adam, double your damage.
Just roll once.
Whatever your damage is, roll twice.
Okay.
How much?
Oh!
What'd you roll? Did you manage to
I rolled 20.
20. Minus 6, so 14 off your stamina.
Holy cow. Stay away from him.
Okay.
You guys didn't like each other, but hey. We're also wrong planet now,
The
buddy.
PFC was just getting a little. He's just going. Who can actually see that? You're looking this way. Running Wolf is this way. The Doc is. This is Doc. Isn't
Oh,
it?
Doc's here.
This is Doc. He's like,
me
oh.
right here.
Actually, Adam. Roll me 50-50. Steve, you go low or high.
Let's say hi.
Okay, if you go low, you hit Doc in the back. You got it, Steve. What the? And flatline. You hear gunfire from behind you. You hear the roaring of something that doesn't sound human off to your left. What are you doing?
What is the distance here? Is this
Those are 5 feet.
5
square.
feet.
So it's less. It's maybe 55 feet. So in yards, it's less than 20 yards, less than 10 yards. No, it's about 15 yards.
and what are the penalties for mid-range? They're not within close range.
No, mid range.
-5.
Did you find it?
Right here.
On the chart. Good. Okay, so minus 5%.
No, you can't move and fire, can you?
Yes, you can. And if you're just doing the I should just find this page and all these firing types and leave it there. Okay. If you're doing the snap fire, you can walk or move slower than that, and there's no penalties. Burst fire, there's penalties for walking. There's a minus 10% if you're walking, a minus 30 if you're running. And auto fire is
Just a game. It's just a game.
yeah, here they are. Minus 10 in walking, minus 30 in running.
Yeah.
Movements in
I can move 15, right?
Roll 2
Sure.
1%.
That's what it says.
Good. If that's what it says, then yes.
I'm
15
still-
meters.
This is not Cthulhu now.
25, 40.
Now those are feet.
Right.
15 meters is actually 45 feet. You could walk and almost be on top of that.
Okay, so then, being here, when I'm within 30 meters,
Yes.
Okay.
Definitely within 30
so I
meters.
don't have to move, I can still hit. I spin around, I kneel down, and I shoot my pistol.
You just doing an aim shot?
Yes.
Okay.
You get a plus
That'll
5
give you-
for kneeling.
Yes. And another plus 5 because of your computer assisted stuff. So you got a plus 10% to your chance.
No.
And then Steve, you'll get to go. Turn around and shoot the private.
Hold on a second.
So I use
We'll finish this.
Reflex.
reflex.
Yeah, it's going to be a reflex plus 10%.
Get under it.
You want to be under it? Yes.
I got it.
Okay. Roll your. What was your one's digit? And was that under
A two.
a 2? So is that under the lethality
Yes, it
number?
is.
Okay, so that's considered lethal damage. So with a single shot, you don't have any chance of hitting your friends.
Okay, so just roll my damage with a weapon.
Yes, roll your damage for the weapon.
That's
Take
crazy.
it out.
You see that?
How much is it? Is it
3d10.
It's a heavy pistol. It's like a magnum. That's like
Yeah. It knocks you back 5 feet.
Yeah, but the thing is, he gets 3d10
Oh,
for his
don't make a
pistol.
difference.
Am I? Oh no, that's the shotgun. So I only get 2d6 from that.
A total of 11.
What's your
Wow.
lethality?
7.
Mine's a 7
That's pretty
too.
good. Oh,
Yeah.
no shit.
they're
But I
huge
can only
round
get
pistols.
3 shots per round at the most.
Oh, that's 2d8.
And you guys can dump ammunition into the air and
Yeah.
double or triple even your
Right.
damage rating. So that's the advantage of those.
Oh, nice.
I like the lethality rating thing. I think it's kind of a good.
Actually, I only get 1 shot per round.
do you?
And
Okay,
I
that
can
gives
roll
you-
7 in the gun.
Okay.
and then Steve, you're up.
Alright. I was like, I'm getting it from both sides.
They happen at the same time, too, right?
Yeah, he pretty much went.
See,
And these are 10-second rounds ish.
so I need to roll under 60,
Yes. What did you roll?
51.
51. Okay, that's also under your lethality
Yeah.
rating, right? Okay, so that's considered lethal damage. And it's the flechette round, so it doesn't blow up in your face.
Yeah.
So roll me damage.
No, it's 2d8. Now do I double because that's under lethal or?
No.
Oh, I
But it goes to lethal damage instead
Instead
of
of stamina.
it goes to body instead of stamina.
9 points.
I was at burst fires. That's why I was getting double damage on it.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
You fired burst, and that mark off your
Oh.
ammunition up with it too. So
Come get something.
Fisk. Yeah, you see the flechette goes into it, like rips off a big chunk of it. What are you doing, Fisk?
I'm still here.
Mm-hmm.
Should be able to hit him from there.
Yeah.
And
I didn't get any bonuses for being that close.
Oh yeah, you should have. But it would have you rolled underneath it anyway, so you would have hit.
is that considered point blank?
Point blank's a plus 10 to hit. Yeah, plus 10 to hit. And yes, I would consider that point blank. You're within 10 feet of that guy.
Cool. I'm gonna go to the highest rate of fire, which is I can't remember that.
The auto fire?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So you're emptying out 25 shells.
Minus,
It's going to quadruple the damage rating, increase lethality by 3.
and that's plus what to hit?
Detriments or increased
Minus
difficulty
30.
in aiming. Yeah. Is it minus 30? Okay. So minus 30 to hit, but within point blank range, it's going to up you 10%,
Plus his 5.
15%. So you're at minus 15. Whatever your reflex is, subtract 15, and that's the number you have to get under.
Okay.
But you just laying down
Oh.
fire. Did you roll high?
He shoots you too.
Roll! No. You're not at an angle that a
I
bus is
missed
gonna
completely.
be in danger. It sounds to everybody like panic fire.
It's like, bring it down, bring it down.
It probably is like.
Holy cow.
Never fired a gun before.
Okay, everybody's gone. Who's going? We'll go to the top. Everybody rerolls initiative.
No, that's the D10, right?
Yes, D10 adds your initiative bonus.
Oh, jeez.
I'm pretty certain that you reroll initiative every round. Let me double check.
I think I'm mauled. I should just stay on.
Yeah, we'll say this. Who'd my 10s go? Okay, monster.
Roll up, roll up, roll up.
Rolos. Who's that Rolo?
I've had this for years.
Okay, Jackson.
9.
9. Fisk.
So now we can take -1 because of our body armor, right?
Yeah, you still take -1 from body.
Five.
I stopped my roll. I
Five.
just want to make sure.
But you get
This-
10% of your reflex, so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I rolled a 10 plus 6 is 16 -1 is 15.
15,
Right?
yes, that's correct.
Yeah, I'm going sure
15
you
guys-
is
plus 5.
Boomer,
Unless you want to count it as
and
0.
13.
roll a 0.
15 is flat.
How did? Can I be that?
Okay, Boomer, you're first, man. You're feeling pain in your back. You got torn. Your body armor slightly
Guess I
damaged.
gotta do all the work again.
Hey, I hit it! Boomer's now taking credit for everything that happened. What are you doing? You just shooting?
Oh, I'm just
Yeah, we're gonna skip the whole declare first and then roll initiative because people forget what they were planning. And I hate that when they do that in systems.
You need to die, boy! Boom!
Okay, there's a foop and you hit it.
Yeah, I'm brutality too.
Okay, so roll me damage.
A 5 and a 6, 11.
Okay. Flatline. What are you doing?
Does this thing look like it's getting hurt?
What's happening is well, he missed. His bullet and the two flechettes are like ripping big chunks off of this thing, and so it's almost like it's pulling its flesh off. And there's some blood, but it's not like gushing and like it's the way that it's being hit. It should be dead. You don't know why it's not dead right now because like huge pieces are coming off.
Okay.
But it's still like standing, and now it's like looking slimmer almost,
Yeah.
and it looks almost like parts of its flesh are
It's
moving.
organic almost.
Well, yeah, it's organic.
Well, I mean like plant-like or
No,
something?
not like plant like
earthy.
But as you're damaging it, it's almost like the flesh itself is moving to cover the parts that are damaged and aren't filling out. So the whole thing is like shrinking down. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
It's almost like the pieces that you guys have done of damage aren't hurting it the way you would expect, but it is a bug, so.
It's a bug?
It's a big badger. It's an alien creature. A lot of those are called bugs.
Oh, okay.
And it's obviously changing, and it's being injured. Something's happening. It's not unlike anything you've ever seen. So, and we're to flatline.
Yep.
Oh, after that, I'm like, why won't you die?
Okay.
I'm still kneeled, and I'm
Okay.
taking an aim shot, which is a plus 15, right?
Yeah, is that on the chart? Yeah, yeah, that's one single bullet.
I only get one single shot anyhow.
Okay, hey, that's the best way to go with that kind of side on
So you have a 25% increase then.
Right.
Because 5%
that. 5% for the computer. Yeah, yep. That's 25.
Way below it.
Okay,
So 27.
what's your tens digit? Is it
It's
under your lethality?
The exact same as my lethality.
That's still considered lethal. So. You see another shot, hits it in the side, which kind of goes through it, rips chunks out.
17 points.
Wow.
It
Okay.
dies normally.
It still hasn't gone down though. But what it does do is it turns and flees into the forest.
That's right.
Run, you coward!
Come back
Jackson.
with my bullet.
Do I have any sight of it?
Yeah, but he's still in the way. So, what are you doing?
Just shoot through him.
How far
There
can
are
you move?
trees. Here we go. We can.
Yay!
Fun things.
Now, can he move? Is it his turn?
Whose?
The creature.
Yeah, it was the creature's turn. That's what it did. It turned and fled, and probably went further than that actually, because it's going to move. Humans move 15 meters walking, right? So this thing's running. So that's going to put it running away pretty far off at
Like
probably
50?
20 to 30 meters further on from where you
Whatever its
are.
fit is.
Whatever its fit is.
What's his run is your fit.
Oh my god. Okay, in meters?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. It's running and it is bounding away, and it's almost an additional football field away. And it's actually, and the undergrowth is thick enough that you probably don't have the shot at it.
Okay.
Because it tore into the woods and crashed through the undergrowth.
Okay.
See, I'm living in the woods too. It's fine.
Yeah. It's not too bad.
So what do you do?
Standing down, I guess.
Okay. Remember, you're in command too, so you can shout out orders, and they're expected to obey them.
Right.
Like, Steve, go after it by yourself. And I didn't hit you in the back.
Doc, check on Boomer. Boomer, what's your condition?
Come back here, you son of a bitch!
Okay, Boomer's all
Normal.
hyped
All
up.
right.
What did you say?
Normal.
Normal.
Hey,
Okay.
can I drop my mag and put a freaking high frag in there, try to launch it over there?
Yeah, indirect fire is pretty tough.
Especially when you can't even see
your target.
I'm just guessing because I'm
Okay.
pissed.
Okay.
I want to take off.
Yeah, you
running.
you pull out the mag and replace it. We're kind of out of combat now, guys. Is there anything you still had to go that round? So
No.
you replace the mag as Doc comes over. Sorry, go ahead.
Trigger stuck.
Oh. Okay, and then you just and there's an explosion off in the distance.
Come back here!
No idea whether you hit it because you can't even see it. So
It was more out of frustration than.
Meanwhile, a cure for cancer was just going around the corner.
Yeah. It's that one butterfly.
The cure for cancer. I want to help the human. Okay.
Leprechaun's real.
Well, I'm just gonna check you up. Check you out.
Who shot me?
You're pointing at the pilot.
Did you fail weapons training or
There
something?
we go.
How long were we in flight for? Like 14?
15 months.
I guess after 15 months, I'm a bit rusty.
So is my trigger.
Well, you stay beside me from now on.
Come on, Boomer, you can't expect us all to be like you.
Oh.
I didn't say anything wrong. I just, you know,
not
he's
the
the leader.
area.
He shouldn't be able to shoot. You know, he's supposed to set the standard. He's the leader.
Just hold still. Hold still, Boomer. Hold still. Hold on.
You want me to shoot him too?
Oh, okay. Steve,
I won't hit you.
Like a stem back.
you get a body point back. He's gonna go for that instead of the stamina points.
Did you lose a body point?
I lost 3 bodies.
Yeah, you get
I got
normal healing. You get 1 point per week of body. You get 1d10 stamina points per 8 hours of complete rest, and that's why he's going for the body points, and he's trying to heal up your worst wounds. So you're gonna start recouping that other woundage once you get just laying down, sleeping, and resting, or whatever. Oh, wait a minute. Yeah, he's got a med kit.
These are pluses, I assume.
Yeah, you get 2 more body points back.
Oh, I'm full.
Damn.
No, not 2 total.
So you get 1 additional.
Oh,
One additional.
so
2 total, yeah.
well, still it puts me in just 1 below.
Yeah, right. So, because that's that helps you with the he has a med kit, and that aids.
Oh, I take my body armor off and I look.
Whoa, you're taking the body armor off in the field.
Well,
I mean, you're still right next to the
Yeah.
trees over there.
well, I'm checking to see if it's not serviceable. I'm not gonna wear it.
Okay, so you're stripping your body armor off. It's still serviceable. It's gonna need repair.
No, I'm looking at the back. Is the shot group at least tight?
Yeah, actually, it's very tight. It's almost like he's aiming at you. But you know you didn't get hurt by all the bursts.
Yeah, I'm.
Some of them
I'm
went
just gonna
high.
say.
No, some went low actually.
I'll
And kind of let
I'll
up.
keep that in mind. I don't know why I wear it.
Okay.
I'm just checking, you know, because if there's a big crack and it's no good, why wear it?
There's a rip in the front. It'll need repair.
Yeah.
It might need replaced. You might just want to replace it. You don't know if there's any replacement body armor. You've been told, you were told at least specifically, that the mayor, or the guy who's in charge of the colony, has access to more ammunition beyond what you guys initially have. So that's under his control.
Okay.
You can requisition it from him, but he needs to decide whether or not to give it to you.
Anything gonna happen in the next 5 minutes?
No. Now be careful, because these legs. Yes. Especially that one down there. Is it coming in? Because I pushed the table that way, and the whole thing went through.
Yeah.
Okay, so keep an eye on it. You can knock stuff over.
So DJ work here?
Yeah, this is he owns it.
Really?
Yeah, he
I thought I
started
was
this
using one
business.
earlier. That it's like disappeared. Must have rolled off the mat.
Okay, so that thing got away.
It was a dog.
What? Jeez, my girl. Okay. Is there anything else you guys want to do in this clearing? I mean,
Might want to get samples from that thing.
Is there chunks of it or something?
there are chunks on the ground that burst off of it, and they just appear to be dead flesh now.
Okay.
And yeah, you can take some samples of it easily.
I'll do a
There's-
perimeter and double check, make sure there's not any more of that odor. And try to
Okay.
see.
Are you taking anybody with you?
Yeah, I'll follow me.
Okay.
Like you with me.
Flatline.
Flatliner, that's right. He's,
You two guys do a walk around the perimeter. You
Reload
don't
the gun.
smell anything. Nothing seems out of over there by that thing, you can see the tracks that it left. Heading into woods, at least nearby where it first started taking off the road. So just FYI. Doc is still kind of checking Boomer out. And I think Boomer stays close to Doc, doesn't he? Isn't
Doc
Doc
and
like
Boomer
the-
are inseparable.
Okay,
Yes, right.
that's what I thought.
From what I'm reading, Boomer would rather die than let the Doc get killed.
Yeah, it says here the same thing. But Boomer's your best friend on the squad.
Yeah.
Something strikes you as not quite right about that. Jackson seems pretty competent at the job of squad leader, but is a bit too serious about it. Have to do a psyche eval. So yeah, you notice that, Fisk. While Doc's working on the boomer, you can see where the tracks led off into the woods. What
Does
that's?
it get covered?
What color?
My green, my guy, that link with oh, the right front.
I was about to say, I don't think anybody's touched your stuff, man. We're not thieves here.
No,
except
good,
for Adam.
We're getting at that pitch, man.
There's
Andy's always threatening to
all
throw them
crowns
dice
to
to
splash.
splash them in the garbage disposal.
Mr. Naturally 20 at the time. Oh, 20, 20, 20.
Here, you want to see it?
No.
It'll be fine.
Is there anything else you guys want to do in the clearing? You've picked up some samples. Doc's got some stuff in his med kit he can put them in case you want to analyze them. The equipment there might be some kind of, there's probably some equipment with the colony stuff that you can use to analyze it if you want.
Do this thing leave tracks?
Yeah, there are some tracks. I mean,
Are they
it's
like
huge.
paw tracks? Or they?
Yeah, they're like big paw tracks.
I'm just thinking. I'm not going after it, but I'm just.
Okay.
I'm,
He took Flatline and they did a walk around the perimeter again to make sure there wasn't that smell they didn't smell anywhere else. And they come back to you and say it looks like the rest of the area is clear.
my recommendation is colonize this area.
Could be yours that are worse.
No, it's not my decision. I'm
Yeah.
not a believer.
It actually gets the
Yes, you
Star
know you're
Lieutenant's decision. He gets to decide.
Yeah.
What's his name? Myers. So anything else you guys want to do in this area? What all the time is? 8:30. Oh, that's on now.
Maybe
Good,
to
good,
11,
good.
right?
That's good.
Yeah,
I
maybe to
was thinking that we started at 6 for some reason. I was like,
No,
damn.
you can just start showing up at 6.
Okay, we started at 7, so we're only an hour and a half in. So, anything else you guys want to do in this area?
Just gonna hold it down and keep your ears open, I guess.
Well, we're supposed to get back on board the
Oh.
scouts, go back up to the ship.
Okay,
I
okay.
mean, that's Stratton is waiting for you guys to.
Okay.
This looks like a pretty good area.
Is there any way we can mark it so we know for sure we got like we can set coordinates or something?
Yeah. Oh, definitely. Yeah, you can do that.
Mark!
Oh my God.
That's fine.
Right, no, not really.
But he didn't squatch.
That makes sense. That I was thinking heavy pistol does 3d10 and my grenade launcher flechette's only 2d8.
Can you do an area of effect with that though?
Let's look at the shots.
I got more range, but
I don't know. I saw that and I'm like, first I thought, oh, I'm not really going to get much help. All the guys with a pistol. And I looked at the damage and I'm like, hey, I got a pistol. Woohoo, I got a pistol.
It's like that dirty hair. It's like a magnum.
Yeah.
Grenade launcher, underside, additional stuff,
No.
kind of weapon.
So it's barrel this big one.
40mm grenades and indirect fire. Which is what you did. 15 rounds of any 5
Right.
types of flechettes. Fragmentary. Is there any? Actually, Adam, if you want to go back to that fridge back there and grab me a Mountain Dew, you can. I would really
Yeah, 'cause you only
appreciate
get
it,
one
'cause
shot.
yeah,
Or, yeah,
Launched grenades, flechette rounds.
you can hold 15.
Because it acts like a shotgun. The flechettes are, it's like firing off a shotgun.
Probably
Direct
using
fire.
buckshot instead of slug.
Right.
Right.
So that's why it's not as good as his.
And it's made to shoot grenades. So
So they
Yeah,
give you a bonus.
it says it's this grenade
You
is
know?
specially designed for those occasions where the grenade launcher is pressed into direct duty as a shotgun.
Now where's it say? Where's the grenades at?
ground back here.
Oh, okay.
There's smoke grenades, frag grenades. And damage is 16,
Wow.
80%, 44, 40, 10 plus 4.
Yeah. I don't know what that means. I'm gonna put that on too.
Well, 40, 10, and 4 is your lethality.
Thank you, sir.
Mhm.
Wanna jump?
Damn, it's
It's not very cold.
I know.
Thank you very much. Also, I can't-
Another cliche of role playing games. Mountain Dew.
Yep. Stocked up.
Okay, so with the giant badger thing driven off, Stratton takes you back up to the starship. You wait about 16 hours for morning to come to the clearing below. Myers gently lands the ship, and Briggs begins decanting the colonists from the stasis pods. It's left to you guys to secure the perimeter until all the cargo is offloaded and the colonist electric fence can be erected. Ritter, you meet colony leader Heinz Ritter. He's not very happy about this thing that you killed in the woods.
Go in.
Okay, well, he's not happy to learn about the tussle, this giant badger thing.
You're scared off. You can come back again.
Yeah, I am hoping that is so we will make sure that this is so, yeah.
We'll do our job, you do yours, alright?
That is what we almost do our jobs, yeah. By nightfall, everything has been unloaded. The fence is up. There's an electric fence around the perimeter. You're in command, but you can get, you can get input from your squad. How close to the wood line do you want the electric fence to be? And that's something you guys can discuss.
How big is the diameter of it? Do we know?
The
how much
clearing?
room? Yeah, how much room do we have from it? Are we pretty tight in here? Or is
No, this is that big clearing, that
Okay.
big ass clearing. It's big enough the ship can land, and you still have room to offload everything. And then, as you can see, the ship's very large. So you're talking probably 200 meters in diameter, roughly. It's not like a perfect circle, but it's big, and
About 2 football fields. Then?
yeah, 2 football fields across at its widest point. So, how close to the perimeter of the woods do you want to put your electric fence? And the electric fence is 8 feet tall. We'll say 3 meters, 9 feet tall.
say like 25 meters, I guess.
25 meters from the edge? Okay. Or 25 feet.
We don't want anything to be able to climb the tree and jump over the fence.
Right,
Okay, 25 meters, and that's going to leave you with 150 meters across.
right.
Um,
So there's 1.5 football fields. So
That would give you time, if it did engage the fence, as fast as it ran away.
I was just thinking, like, hopefully get some shots off on it before it either got to the fence or got away from the fence.
The outer shell of the City Hall building has been assembled, and that's going to provide a place for colonists to sleep for the night. It's a large building. I mean, think of that, the courthouse downtown Bryan kind of width. So and it's just a prefab metal building. Okay.
Everybody die and you just pour them down.
Smoke break. I let it run
Okay.
a quick break.
There's been a makeshift tent. You guys have a tent set up outside of that, wherever you want it to be on the outside of it, and it's a good-sized tent for your gear and cots and equipment, and for you guys to sleep on. Stratton, Myers, and Briggs wish you luck.
Okay.
And the ship, they go back into the ship, and it's sealed up, and within 15 minutes, the engines roar to life, and it takes off into the night sky.
Now, are they going all the way back to the space station, or
They go back to Earth. You guys will. There is a freighter with supply should be here in 6 months.
It's already
It's probably already en route. Yes.
Gotcha.
So you guys have to hold out for 6 months. And
How many people we have here with us?
49, because one of them died in transit, and a dog, cat.
No,
The cat
cat's dead.
Cat died. Oh.
So,
So you have a dog and 49
but can we start
colonists.
sending animals?
Yes, and they're going to get working on that.
Yeah, well, we don't do none of that. We're just here to protect.
Nope, you guys are here to protect the colonists. That's pretty much your
Can't they
entire
just
job.
send another cat?
No, they don't have it. They brought the dog and the cat weren't actually supposed to breed, so they had them just in stasis chambers.
Oh.
But they've got the what do they call it? The embryos, livestock embryos.
Oh.
3 pods are just full of livestock embryos, and they'll be starting to breed those immediately, as well as trying to get some get seeds in to see if the soil is compatible with any kind of the. They would have made new strains of plants that are more hardy.
Sure.
Yeah, so you guys are on your own for the next 6 months. What kind of daily regimen are you going to set up? Night watches, day watches? What's the plan? And again, you can talk to you can decide as a group, but then you get the final say. It's pretty much what it comes down to.
I think we alternate shifts and have a 2-man group watch during the nights, and we just kind of rotate shifts. and then we'll have like maybe kind of a scouting party that consists of about 4 guys. Go out and do further perimeter scans, kind of see what else is outside the clearance. Right.
Okay, that's a good idea.
I don't think we can really give up our defenses with anything.
You can't with the just the 6 of us. We really can't.
Yeah.
You know, we really can't. You know.
And I think you guys have you guys got this, don't you?
Yeah.
The passenger manifest. I was kind of proud of myself on this one.
You did this all by yourself.
It took me a while to figure out how to do the lines thing so that the lines were off color.
In Excel or?
No, this is in Word.
Oh, really?
Yeah. But
So
it took me a while just to figure that out.
Oh.
Keeper.
Yes, he's considered the police officer of the colony.
I should just look at my profession and I would explain it.
Yeah, he's considered there's a mayor or a colony leader. He's considered the peacekeeper, which is like the colony constable. He's supposed to handle any disputes between colonists, that kind of thing. You guys are there to protect the colony as a whole. You can use him. He is armed. He has a light pistol, but that's all he's got. And the power of the badge. And then some of them are scientific, and those are going to be specific scientists who are going to be doing some research on the planet. If they don't have anything under their notes, then they applied to be a colonist. They were accepted. They'll have their things that they're good at, but they're there for everything else. Somebody needs to start working on putting up prefab houses. Those are the guys who are supposed to be doing it. You guys won't have any grunt work like that to do it. You can if you want. If you get bored.
Bartender. Paula.
Yeah, there's somebody who was a bartender who was picked for the mission, obviously. And
She's been looking.
does it make a difference? What's her name?
Paula Mosenbite.
What's her last name? Mosenbite.
She's from
Yeah,
Bolivia.
she's Bolivian. No, Mosenbite. Bolivia. Oh, it is Mozambique. She's from South America. Sure, she's good looking.
Sure, why not? It's a role playing game. Hey, girls, yeah, I want it.
And Heinz Ritter is the colony leader. His wife Hilda Ritter.
Of course, these
Is
people, since these are humans, they want nothing to do with this anyways.
Yeah.
Well, you're getting the fact. Some of them are kind of standoffish to you. Most of them don't seem to care. You're there for a reason. You're there to protect them. Some of them chat with you. They're friendly enough. Most of these people realize that you're the only thing potentially standing between them and certain death. Considering three of the other colonies have just vanished. So none of them are being like, get the fuck away from this thing, or anything like that. Some of them at worst they're just kind of a little standoffish. Reader comes across as he's kind of
Over assertive or something?
he's a little over assertive. He does not try to give you orders. He knows the chain of command and the fact that if there's a military thing that you have the final say.
Right.
And that barring you, that one of your guys has the final say. He's still he wants daily reports, just verbal reports from you. If anything out of the ordinary happens, what's going on, and his wife, or there's one of the men or the women here is listed as a secretary, I believe, or a clerk, and those people are taking notes as you talk, and he's getting things together, trying to be very organized.
Okay.
There are a couple of medical people. The only medics that you guys have are a paramedic, or somebody whose job was a paramedic, a nurse, and a veterinarian.
And we have Doc.
And then Doc, who's your guy's medic. But what else is here? Counselor. And there's tech guys, mechanics, electrical, and engineers, and that kind of stuff. And they're starting to get the machinery working. You've still got some stasis pods that are there under power from
What
the
do they do
solar
with
generator.
that archer guy? They just bury him?
Yeah, they are going to take him. They're going to bury him inside the perimeter of the fence,
Okay.
off at the far end somewhere. So if there is any kind of creatures on the planet that might dig him up, that they don't do it easily.
Gotcha.
The same with the cat. They bury the cat right next to him. Put up
Dirt cemetery.
pretty much. They are. I don't believe anybody here has any kind of skill that would make it easy for them to make any kind of a. They probably get some metal and they'll probably mark something on it, engrave it in some way, simply scratch the names on of the cat and of Archie.
Oh.
Persephone was the cat's name. And it's interesting because they got the colonists here, and then they got the two animals that were brought, and you guys are at the bottom of the list.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The animals are worth more.
Well, they're just telling us to make more.
By seeing what's going on, I'm a little inspired to do something. I tried to find a book, blank book that I can, and I'm going to start keeping track of our
Routines.
findings and
Sure.
Yeah, so you can do that. There's enough supplies.
I'm going to start documenting stuff.
The ATVs are offloaded. They're over on. They're next to the city hall. They are to be used by permission of the mayor or the peacekeeper in town. You guys are expected that your patrols outside of the fence will be on foot. Occasionally, you're asked to escort parties out there, geologists or what are some of the other scientists, chemists who are testing some of the plant life to see if any of it's compatible. Possibly could be eaten, possibly could be used for whatever.
Any lumberjacks on that list?
Yeah.
There is a lumberjack on the list, actually.
Well, we need them to start clearing them out so we can expand.
Yeah. When you bring that idea to Reader, he agrees that that's probably a good idea.
Actually, I give that to Jackson.
Okay, you give it to Jackson to give to
Infantry.
Reader. Yeah, that's probably smart because you probably don't want to have anything to do with him if you can help it. Everything's pretty quiet for several days. You guys are patrolling the woods, though. You're going outside the perimeter to patrol the woods, too, and kind of trying to expand and make sure nothing's in the area, right? You're going in groups of how many? At least 2?
If we're doing
Three?
perimeters, I want to do 4.
4? Okay. And that'd be during the day?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, let's say you 4. That's the easiest way to do it. And everybody can make me either searching, which is under intelligence. If you don't have something, as long as it's not a learning skill, you can do it at half of your chance. Survival or luck, whichever one is highest. And survival is learning, so if you don't have survival, you can try that, or luck, which is under psi.
I think it's psychology or.
I'm going to do searching.
Is all your skills, you have to have that skill.
I have a 6. Finally, I rolled something
Good. If you don't have the skill, Adam, as long as it's not a learned skill, you can do it at half your chances. And searching is under intellect, and luck is under psi.
Got it.
Alright, well, I'll just roll something.
Yeah, just roll
Control. If it's, see how low it is. Is it low?
There you go.
9.
Oh, 9?
Yeah.
Yeah, that'll probably make
We are all,
Did you guys all get it?
Yeah.
we are all
Okay.
on
You're on
board.
patrol. It's about 3 days in. You find a
Am I
partially.
back to full
Body
stamina?
Oh, it's been 3 days, so you're standing on. Yeah, definitely. You've had 2 or 3 8-hour sleeps.
Yeah.
It's 1d10 per 8-hour sleep, so you get 5 and 7 is 12, and 2 is 14 points back.
So I'm back to where I was.
Okay, good. Y'all discover the partially devoured carcass of a local creature on the 3rd day as you're on your patrol. Carcasses. If anyone has survival or xenological theory
I have xenological theory.
or general medicine.
First aid or general medicine?
General medicine.
You're the only one, buddy.
Is he?
Make
I
it
thought Fisk had something.
No.
I thought you had a xenological something.
O2.
O2?
I don't mind.
This not only has claw marks, but deep puncture wounds, as if from long fangs.
None of that thing where you're fighting had big things, or
Not really. No, you didn't see me. A couple days after that, you guys find another carcass. Which go ahead and examine that one too, Steve.
let's see, 62.
Is that a learned one?
Yeah, that's a word. This one has the same kind of wounds, but there's also the puncture wounds are surrounded by necrotic tissues, as if from a strong poison. And you didn't see any sign of that in the group that you saw 2 days ago.
Right.
Oh, you okay?
Yeah, fine.
Did we get
Did
that
you
on
say
tape?
that? Poison sample?
Yeah, I'm
Oh
telling
yeah,
you.
I'm assuming that all information is shared with
Yeah,
somebody.
might want to get some poison samples. Might be able to set up a antidote. Yeah.
We can probably mark these locations.
Yeah.
Then we'll notify them, and if they want to set out a scientist group, we can at least escort them.
Yeah, and they'll do that. They'll send out somebody to. Did you bring back samples? You probably didn't have the equipment to do
I don't
that.
have the
So
equipment,
they do send out.
Well, couldn't I cut like a hunk of the meat off?
Yeah, you can do that if you want to bring the whole thing.
How the
What if
poison?
it's contact poison?
I
Right.
got gloves on.
That's up to PFC.
Yeah, let's just leave it alone, and we'll make sure.
I wanted to tip from my wall.
If you touch it, your penis falls off. You're really pissed off.
Yeah. Not. I'll be sitting down when he does it though. No penis.
The days passed without incident. About a week after the starship's leaving, you hear a scream from the opposite side of the compound. Now, some of the colonists have been going out of the compound by themselves. They don't go far, like the lumberjack. It's been taking a small cruise to the edges and chopping down some trees. And they've been testing them. They've been bringing some of the lumber in, using it to make fires. You know, just doing all kinds of stuff. Every once, that's one of the reasons why they're making the fire. They checked it first before they'd make a little fire, and they would test the smoke to make sure it wasn't something that was going to cause, that it wasn't poison ivy that you've thrown onto your fire and breathed in.
Right.
Got poison ivy on your lungs. About a week after the starship's leaving, you hear a scream from the opposite side of the compound, and a man comes stumbling from the edge of the woods, holding bloodied hands over his face. What do you do?
Call for medic and
Okay.
approach to see if there's anything.
I'm gonna go where he come out of the woods at.
Mhm.
I'm gonna stand there, and I got I'll have a pistol because I want to carry the grenade launcher out.
Okay. He's off duty.
Yeah, not on patrol.
He was. What did you call it at the beginning?
What?
Cleaning his weapon.
Yeah.
The colony's doctor, the veterinarian actually, runs over to the Moon Man's aid. Anybody else who wants to go over there can be over there. You move to the entrance to keep an eye on that.
Yeah, I didn't probably go all the way up to the woods, but
Okay.
I'm back by near the fence.
He's not badly hurt. He's got several bloody but shallow claw marks across his face. And the doctor is applying. He's working on him. And the guy's
What did this to you?
um,
And is it still coming?
he says, I was taking my dog out for a romp in the woods when something like it looked like a squirrel or something attacked me. It's got that's supposed to be an Italian accent, guys.
Close enough.
The polo. He just came at me and attacked me. I think Butch ran after it, and it's little tiny wounds, like something like leaped on his face or tore it up. It was out that way. It was that way.
And who was with you again?
Butch, my dog, the dog. He ran off after the squirrel thing. I don't know where he is.
Well, let's see if we can find him, I guess.
Let's find face shields.
I think we're gonna
Get a welding mask on.
stumble and
Suck this
knock
world.
shit. I think it's up underneath it.
It's scratching at me.
I'm taking my
Yeah,
foot.
gets underneath it. Oh! Get it off! Anyway. Yeah. Okay, so
Before we go, we need to gear up.
let's make sure this is still on.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Before we go, we need to gear up. I'm gonna get the flamethrower.
Okay.
Alright.
I'm looking for a face shield.
The,
Obviously, whatever the something goes after so many people's faces, you
the
know.
only one you can find is somebody's actually using it right now to
Oh.
do some welding. There's a guy, he's over on one side and he's welding, working on another structure. The main town hall is up and intact. There's enough prefab huts to make probably about 10 more small private huts, and they're starting to work on getting those up now that they've establish themselves a little bit better on the planet.
Oh, survival. Okay.
That's the one you can easily find.
Is there any netting?
Netting?
You want beekeeping?
Like,
I
like
didn't.
mosquito netting?
Yeah.
Yeah. It'll take you a little while to get it. It's
Yeah,
shoved
we
in the
don't
back
need
of
that.
the
We don't got time for that.
it's shoved in the back of the town hall.
Yeah, I probably would have told him. Like,
Everything's been
go
stored
grab
in
your gear,
there.
back here.
You can't. You said be back.
Okay.
Yeah.
So everybody gears up. You four gear up. Are you going to take the dock and running wolf? Or are you going to leave them behind to guard the colony?
Leave
I'm
running
gonna
wolf.
Good. Leave them
I'm
behind.
gonna
I don't want to deal.
dock in. Yeah.
No, we need Doc with us.
Well,
Oh yeah, that's right.
I don't want to get shot in the back again. You've been working.
So
you've
it's
been
your decision, Adam.
Oh, you're the commander in chief.
this we're just looking for a dog. I think we'll be
Boomer's got a preference, but
There's a
Sorry,
vicious
dog would be
squirrel.
safer here.
The four-grown men can't take on that. And the
vicious squirrel. Full-grown synths, man.
essence.
Better than humans. Okay, so you've loaded up, you've gotten all your weapons, you head out of the compound. You can see the path that goes into the woods that this guy actually took. And you eventually find a nest of mashed and dead baby squirrel things at the base of a bush. Nearby lays a stick with a bloody end.
So he was out whacking.
Kind of looks that way, yeah.
Call for Butch.
Okay. Here, boy.
Watch DJ come from the back room.
Probably.
What do you want?
Can I help you guys? Can I help you guys? What do you need? Yeah, no sign of the dog, and the dog's not coming.
Let's pick up some of these things and pick up the stick and we'll take it back with us.
Okay. You guys get back to the colony proper. It was a couple hundred yards away, without any issues or any problems. Running Wolf's kind of walking the perimeter on the inside of the fence. So's Doc. Just keeping an eye out. What do you do when you get there? You don't see any sign of the colonists that got
You
moved
want to
or
ask
the
them if
vet.
anything else had happened since we left.
No, he took the doctor took the what's his name, the Italian Santoro or something like that. It took him to the city
I'll find
hall.
the peacekeeper.
Okay, yeah, you find him.
Okay, I'm gonna show him.
What's his name? Bien Huang. He's Vietnamese.
I'm gonna show him what we found and kind of explain to him kind of what the situation was. And
Which is what? I mean, what did you
That-
explain to him?
well, I asked him if he's heard about the civilian that got injured. He told me he went investigated, found his trail, came upon a small nest of these squirrel-like creatures, and thrown down in the stick. So it looks as if he might have bludgeoned these creatures to death. I don't know if it was self-defense or if it was just an act of violence.
What was his name?
I didn't get his name. It was
Does anyone know his name?
Here's Italian.
He's with the vet right now, or the doc right now.
Oh, okay. I will go ask him. I will go talk to him. And you find out that's Marco Santora.
Yes.
He was a broker from Italy. And he is referenced to talk to the counselor because perhaps there was something in the psych eval that was not mentioned if he's out there just killing things for no particular reason.
small animals.
Yeah. That's the first sign of a serial killer. And they take the animals too, and they're going to examine them, the bodies of these creatures.
Okay.
And the report, and that's still going on. After a couple hours, the dog comes wandering back to
Okay.
camp, tongue lolling, tail wagging, trots across the prairie to the town hall. And when it gets there, it reaches up with one front paw, grasps the front door handle, opens the door, and slips inside. And then you hear a scream from the inside.
I'm running.
I have a scream I can give you guys, but it's a little girl scream.
Is that what we hear?
Now what?
We'll run that way.
Okay, you're heading that way?
Yeah, there's something more.
Yeah.
You guys run across the clearing, and you hear more screams and hollers and cries from within the city hall building.
And
Burst inside to find this this creature.
What's that? Sure.
It kind of looks like the dog, which was a synchron arm, but it's standing on its hind legs. It's expanded upwards and outwards. And there's one of the colonists, one of the women is laying on the ground, and she's got this slash across her torso, and she's gushing blood. And other colonists are freaking out, the ones that were inside the city hall, and screaming. Some of them are just paralyzed with fear, because the thing is about 6.5 foot tall, and it is just like
It's a big dog.
moving towards the next person, and just takes him down. Just, and the guy's like, ah, and he drops to the ground. We can quick draw out.
Oh, I see it. Okay.
There's kind of the prefab town hall.
Okay.
And let's see. Is that you, Adam?
Yes.
Let me say Doc.
Left me, but pretty bad.
No, Doc's not there.
Oh.
Let me say Doc, and these two
Oh.
guys are Running Wolf and Doc. Is this you? Who's this?
This was me.
Uh-huh.
One of them's him.
Yeah.
Hey, where's the
those-
bear,
those
Steve?
was
Put your bear over here.
What are you here?
Steve.
Oh, you went to Bear?
Yeah.
What do you really like this
Box?
box? Really?
No, no.
I like a clean nature. And colonists. There's quite a few colonists in here actually, so I'm not gonna put minis for all of them. But some of them are frozen in fear, others are screaming and running around. It's just kind of mayhem. There are windows on this place. They're circular. They're about the size of like the middle section of that to let in light and everything. There's no second floor yet. It's big enough that it can have one, but it hasn't been constructed in there yet. There's a few scaffolds and stuff there that are built, and a couple of areas where the second floor is going to get. They're going to start working on that soon. Excuse me. And initiative. At least I'm assuming you guys want to just kill it instead of just closing the doors and walking away.
turns out.
I'm going to call on its hands.
I think they can take them.
The mayor goes down. Who's in charge? Is it me? Under martial law.
Okay. What'd you get, Adam? 10 for Jackson. What's
12.
Okay. 12 for shoot. What's his name again?
Fisk.
Fisk.
That's right. Don't come flat.
13.
13 for.
Oh, I'm sorry, 12. I forgot to start one.
Okay, so you two guys are both simultaneous. For Boomer and
9.
Flatline is 9. Okay. Okay.
This is
No,
Yeah, that's Warhammer.
it was one I bought.
The thing is not really seeing you guys yet, and you see it jump on one of the colonists, and it's like chomp with these fangs, and the colonist starts like having seizures or something. Boomer and Fisk, you guys are up next, simultaneous. Now let's see who we got here. Boomer, Jackson. Ooh, that's perfect. This is Fisk, right? And Flatline in the back. So, Boomer, Flatline's in the back, and Fisk. What are you two guys doing? I'm assuming you have weapons in hand,
I have
whatever
a
your
pistol.
weapon of preference is.
I have my pistol because we come back from patrol, so I have a pistol. I draw my pistol because it's in a house.
That's fine, that's fine. You don't have to justify anything. Because you do have your other weapons. What'd you take in the woods?
Flamethrower is on my back.
Good, okay. Just want to make sure in my head I know what's going on. But any weapon that you would have out, you had to run across.
I was just saying, I
The
think I
compound
would have
again
time
here.
to freaking
Yes,
solve
you would
it.
have time to have a weapon in your hand, whatever weapon you so desire. So Fisk and Boomer are up. What are y'all doing?
I'm one name drawn.
Boom! Okay, how about Fisk? What are you doing? You'll be doing it at the same time.
I want to run through his line of fire.
This is set precedent.
See? Yeah, Jackson. I was doing that as a learning thing for all of you.
Forget my line of fire. Combat knife.
You'll be moving simultaneously, so you don't really have to worry about moving through his line of fire.
Okay. Well, I was gonna. I have no short range weapons but a combat knife.
Really?
Yeah. My assault rifle. You can't fire that with all these. We're here to protect the civilians, right?
Yeah. Yeah, there's
We
quite a
can't
few
fire
civilians in here.
It's an assault rifle. And it wrote.
You could do the aim shot, boom,
Yeah.
as opposed to just like,
Yeah.
just opening fire. So you can use your
You only
assault
one
rifle.
shot.
Yeah, you get one shot per round with the
So
assault
that's
rifle.
probably
You go
gonna do more
So
damage.
snapshot, what's the
Snapshot allows you to get those 5 shots per round with the assault
Yeah,
rifle.
like
Boom,
3
boom.
round
But it's like
bursts.
a hip from the hip shot.
Okay.
Boom, 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 boom,
That's what I'll
boom.
do.
Aim shot, you get a plus.
15,
Mhm.
but you only get one shot.
Per round. Because that's taking time, make sure you got a good shot and firing.
Now, rate of fire 3 is would that be then considered burst or is it?
Rate of fire 3 will be snapshot. Boom, boom, boom.
So it says no. I don't have any. I don't lose anything but shoot 3 times.
Right. Right, you'll fire, yeah.
Okay.
Because then the aim fire has bonuses and then the other fire has some
Just
minuses.
that fires.
Yeah, exactly. So you roll 3 times to hit and you're, what are you
I'm
doing?
gonna shoot the assault rifle then. I didn't realize that's the way it worked.
Yes.
I'm gonna shoot the not the aim, but the one that shoots 5.
Right, okay, snapshot. Okay. Colonists are, most of them are frozen in fear. So you'll be rolling 5 times.
Okay.
Make sure you look at your ones digit.
My reflex is 52.
Okay.
I'm closer, and I have what now?
Yeah, you guys are at point blank range.
So that's 15% from.
Point blank is plus 10,
And then there's another +5 because of the computer assisted.
so it's plus 15.
So +15 total to your chance to hit.
I missed.
Okay. You hear a thunk as your bullet goes through one of the walls of the
So you
prefab.
get what, 10% of your reflex as well, right?
No, that's just for initiative.
This is reflex.
Yes.
Yeah.
If you do hit, make sure you know what the one's number is, because that's going to tell it's the lead number.
Missed. Wow. I saw. Missed.
You got
For
it.
goodness sake,
There you go.
I hit.
your dice hate you.
I know they do.
He's Troy.
That's not good.
Okay, so you hit. Now, what's your ones digit? Is that lower than the
One.
lethality? Oh, yeah, okay. So that's that would be a lethal hit.
That's better. Okay.
How much damage was it?
10.
10. Okay.
And there's 6 behind it, so is that a 10 plus 6?
No,
That's the lethality.
Gotcha.
yeah,
Below.
right. Yeah. Which that's body damage because you were lower than lethality. I think you have one more roll to make. Yeah.
Oh,
No, at least
well,
I
that's
did
not
that.
lethal though.
It's not lethal. It's just stamina. Okay.
12.
12 points.
Well, 2 out of 5.
Wow. Good.
Still bad. That's baseball.
Okay.
3 shots.
Okay. Roll to hit.
33 and it's under my. Well, let me check the pistol. I have a pistol. Make sure.
9 o'clock.
That's a massive.
Yeah, underneath my.
Okay.
It's one.
Plus 7. I like that.
What now?
No,
That's-
Pistol 7.
Heavy
No.
pistol.
no.
That's a big bullet. It's a magnum.
Well, I'm using that. Edge, HEJ.
Oh, what's mine? Then?
What's it say?
Oh, mine's a head, yeah.
Yeah. You're doing 3d10, 7 lethality.
HE
An
low.
05. So just regular. Oh yeah, that's
That's-
Now, you only get one shot with that, though.
No, it's just 3 rate of fire 3.
Is that for all of them?
Yeah.
Well,
Pistol heavy.
okay. Fine. Cool.
And a 28.
Oh, so just one shot.
No, 23. I'm sorry. All 3 were under lethal, so I get 90, 10.
Wow.
Similar in size and shape to the 50 caliber Desert Eagle. It's a big pistol.
50 calibers.
That's a lot.
Yeah.
Pager rounds, high explosive jet assisted rounds are what you guys are firing.
15.
Total.
Micro range
Yeah,
at total 3 into the construction.
That's the same.
That's why
as
it's doing so much damage.
50 cal is the same as a 12 gauge
That's-
round. That's
35.
crazy.
That's what.
That's
That's the first bullet did 35 damage.
Well, that was 6 dice.
Wait, what?
Oh,
That's the first
Yeah,
2
35
shots.
total.
3d10.
He still has.
Oh,
We
each
will-
one does 3d10. Okay.
He still has 3 more.
Yeah, I saw it. Okay. Yeah. 38. 41.
41 total.
Like that.
Okay. Yeah, it's tearing pieces off of this thing, and oh, there is a little bit of upstairs finish, but not very much. Yeah, as you're blowing pieces away, the wounds are closing up with no visible effect. Although it's like losing body mass, apparently. Big chunks are just getting ripped off of this
You
thing.
need to get back to the vet.
So it's getting thinner and raggedy, but it's not losing height or length. Okay.
What's his flavor?
Let's see. So Boomer and Fist both went and shot it up pretty good. Jackson.
All right, I'm gonna drop to a knee
Okay.
and then do a snap fire.
So see if you can do better than Fist too.
Yeah.
So I have
Everybody can be better.
taking a knee is 5%, right?
Yeah. So you should have plus 10%.
And I'm within point blank, or
Yep. Oh yeah.
okay,
It's no wonder he
Because
carries
you're only about
everything
20 feet
around.
away. 20
Like
plus
that.
okay.
10. So you're at plus 20 total.
Okay.
Because the knee, point blank, and then the
Okay.
computer system. So pretty good chance of hitting.
Whoa.
What'd you roll? 0-0?
No, it's an 81, but
I think you hit with your kneeling.
Remember, add 20% to your chances.
right.
So,
Actually, yes, that makes it 82.
yeah,
Oh.
no, you would have missed.
Yeah.
That's
Crap.
where I,
Okay.
I was close even in this
Yeah.
80s.
That's a hit. Oops.
Are we in the lethal for all these damage?
Oh,
Oh shoot, I was.
What was your second
Nice.
number? Do you remember?
I had 82, and then I had a 79. So the second one is not.
Okay, that's okay. Keep going.
That one's a miss. It's a hit, and that's lethal.
Good God, you guys are tearing this thing up.
That's a hit, and that's not lethal. That was what, 5, right?
3 hits, 2 misses.
And that's a hit non-lethal.
Okay.
So
So you get 5 hits,
I hit
3,
5. Yeah.
3 lethal, 2 non-lethal, correct? Does that sound right?
2 lethal, 3 non-lethal.
All right, roll me damage.
Let's do the lethal first. 4,
Okay.
another 1. That's a lethal.
Yay, maybe
Lemon
my monster
general.
won't die that quickly.
Oh.
5.
He's going big deal there.
4, so 9.
Oh,
So 10 non-lethal.
Okay. What was your total? I was getting the numbers, but I wasn't getting.
I had
What was
9.
the last number that you rolled?
A 1.
1. Okay.
So yeah.
Okay. Jackson is gone. Flatline. It's still moving, but a lot of flesh has been ripped away. It's like long and slim now. It doesn't look as. Oh wait a minute. This thing's
How
got some
far can
armor.
you
Hold
move?
on a second.
15 meters is the same as what, 45 feet?
yeah, you can get there wherever you want to go.
All right.
How many times has this thing been hit? Some of the bullets are bouncing off it, by the way. But it's somehow armored. You hit it twice, 5 times, and
3 times.
3 times. So. What are you doing?
It's
Turn out the
going
armor.
after it. It's him or it. Well, I guess we're supposed to be here to protect the humans, so that's kind of why I was going after it with a
I'm
knife.
just gonna say this. You're going after it with the knife.
It was.
Okay. What are you doing?
I move
Oh.
to there.
Oh my God. Okay. What are you doing?
Well, could I do a full move and shoot?
Was that a full move?
Yeah, but it was like 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40. So it was almost 45.
What's the movement rate for humans?
15 meters.
15 meters? Yeah, okay. So, yeah, why not? It depends on what you want to do. How about that? You won't be able to get a good shot off after that unless you wanted to shoot as you were heading towards it. Because you can shoot while you're walking. Keep that in mind, too.
I don't know. There are other options, but I don't want to take them. Like,
Okay.
Like tackling the thing. I don't want to do that. Probably not.
So you're just moving to put yourself between that and some of the colonists? Wow.
And I come over to the comm that we're here to protect the humans.
You say what?
I'm over my comm. Just let everybody know,
Oh, yeah.
we're here to protect the humans.
Okay. That's why I'm shooting you. Okay, cool. I like that. Okay, initiative, everybody.
Yeah.
6 is 15, 14.
Okay,
What
a flamethrower, but it'd be kind of dumb to have a flamethrower
Whoa,
inside.
that would be a bad idea.
Yeah.
Probably.
All the
You'd
work
probably
you guys have
cook
done,
people.
it's gone. All the things you guys
What'd
stored,
10. Okay. How about Fisk?
12.
12. You said 14 for Boomer? And
15.
15 for Flatline.
Can I assume this is the same creature we fought?
Yeah, but it doesn't look anything like the other one.
But
It looks like the dog.
but it's disintegrating like the.
It is. It looks. It is doing the same thing when you hit it that the other one did.
With the
It's
smell.
Skinifying.
This,
There you don't. The smell is. You don't.
Okay,
You're not getting the
I'm
smell.
gonna assume it's a different creature.
Yeah. It might be a common trait on this planet.
Yeah.
For creatures that react like that.
That's not good.
Yeah, I know.
So sorry. I'm sorry. Flatline, you're up first. What you doing?
Point blank, shooting the thing in the face.
Okay.
All three snap or just
All three. Well, that's my rate of fire.
That's fine.
So
So you're definitely point blank range.
yeah, I need my reflex. Point
So-
blank is plus 10.
And so another +5 for your auto
So it's
assist.
15, so it's
or-
75. 4.
Sweet.
So I got it, and it's lethal.
It's lethal. Okay.
Second one missed. It's an 82. And third one is a 55. Hit and lethal.
Okay. Roll me damage for your 2 hits. And roll. Give them to me separately. The numbers separately because I forgot about the armor.
First one is 16.
Oh, Lord. Okay.
And the second one is 19.
So that kind of packs a punch, doesn't it?
Oh, I got it. Got 3d10.
What was the first one? 16?
16 and 19.
Forgetting how to do basic math here. That's not a good thing.
That's fine.
well, you have to get a number, subtract it real quick, and then
Sure.
take it off.
And it's a new game on top of
Okay.
that.
Yeah.
Okay, so yeah, the 2 bullets do seem to injure it and rips off more chunks. Who was 14? Was that Boomer?
Yeah.
Okay, you're up. What are you doing? Your buddy's right in its face. Bullets are going right through it. You see him?
Yeah, I'm at an angle.
And you're firing what?
My pistol.
Okay.
Was the building at least trying to get out or anything, or they're just frozen?
People are trying to get away from it. Here's
Yeah,
an area that there's like a second
I ain't
floor.
trying to get away from
There's like a second
No,
floor.
we got we
There's like
got
a
both.
second floor here, with a stairwell, a very narrow, very steep stairwell that goes up to it, and there's like this is like an office area for the mayor.
So what-
set up.
So what's the percentage again for point blank? I think that
Plus 10. Plus 10.
Okay, then I did make it because I thought I just missed it.
And then your 5 for being automated.
Yeah. So yes, and it was lethal.
Okay.
No, miss.
Okay. Hit, miss, and
Another miss. Damn.
okay. So roll me damage for the hit.
You just keep track of your ammo too.
Yeah, I got 1 shot left.
Okay. Yeah, those will teach you to
I kept track plus combat real
14, 24 points of damage. At least
Oh yeah.
God.
At least my
Okay.
shot counted.
Yeah. 75% of your damage you can do.
Okay. Yeah, you tore away another chunk. It's looking long and skinny and weird. Fisk.
Okay. Step, kneel, and point blank.
Okay.
5.
With the assault rifle again?
Yeah, 'cause I need all the help I can get to hit anything. I
Shoot up the groin.
I couldn't hit a bull in the butt with a
Okay.
baseball.
So that's going to be point blank 10.
Plus 20.
The assist, yeah, plus 20 for your chances.
Yes, I,
Hit, but it's probably not lethal.
yeah.
No.
And
That's a hit.
hit, lethal.
Okay.
Hit.
Is it 6 lethal?
Yeah, 6 hits. That's
Plus
miss.
20 on
It's a
like
miss.
you
Miss. Okay.
Hit. Lethal. Got one more.
Okay. So roll me
Yeah,
damage.
I think he's got
No, that was 5. You got
You
hit,
get 6
hit, hit, miss, hit.
he's 6 rounds, isn't he?
That was 5 rounds for this
5.
rifle.
Oh, okay.
So when we hit, 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 miss, hit. So here's the first hit.
7.
7. Okay. Yep. That injures it.
So does you want to count that as his non-lethal? So you have 1 non-lethal and 3 lethal.
Yeah, that was the non-lethal. I've got the lethals coming up here because as many bullets are right. I'm writing them down now.
9.
9. Okay.
Fine.
Okay, that one actually seems to just bounce off the thing.
Fine.
And that one also just bounced off.
10.
Nope, that was it.
That was it.
It hit 4 times out of 5.
Okay.
2 of them bounced.
So is that
The
hardness or something?
To do the
the
one
bug rushes over here to the window that was shot earlier on and broken. Somebody missed. Yeah, one of the ones you broke. And leaps right out through it. It's long and gangly, so it's like this tall, and it's like my weight. Imagine me really tall. And it just leaps out of here, and you hear screams from outside. And it's doing a full run. So it moves pretty far.
Even leaping through the window and everything now?
It's going to knock down some. It's not going to get its full movement, but it's basically it ran, jumped, continued running. And it's now, you can see out, you can make out movement out the window. It looks like it's going all fours and it's rushing towards the fence. What are you guys doing in general? We're still in combat, but you're not going to, well, yeah. Let's roll for initiative.
I haven't done it.
Oh, damn, you're right. Jack, what are you doing?
Okay.
What are you doing, Jack? I apologize.
The window, is it level with us?
Yeah,
how
the window's
high?
about that high.
Okay.
And, it's like big and round. It's not built for defense.
Okay.
One of the bullets hit it earlier and shattered it. One of the misses.
You can still move and then fire, right? As long
Yes.
as it's one movement?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll allow that.
Alright, I'm going to move up to the window.
Okay.
And do you have a pretty clear shot from running directly away?
Pretty clear. It'll have to be a snapshot and you only get one shot off. Because the movement and then firing. You know what I mean?
Oh, okay.
Unless you want to do a burst. You can do a single burst too.
Yeah, I was going to do a burst
Okay.
fire.
Let's see. If anybody's around. I'm going to just do a 50-50 and low means that there's people that are close enough. 39. There are people that it's running by who are like, what the hell is that? So burst fire could potentially hit somebody else.
Okay.
If you roll like you rolled before
Right.
with your lovely friend.
It definitely would hit somebody else.
So you just shoot boomer instead.
I'm taking it. I'm tired of these things running away.
Okay. Okay. So you're gonna take the shot.
Yeah.
You do have a grenade.
Yeah, that's going to really easily hit somebody else.
Well,
I think.
I was thinking about grenade launch, but grenade launch doesn't pack.
I've got one on my gun.
Yeah. The assault rifles. You don't have an assault rifle, you just have heavy weapons. Okay.
So,
Yeah, you can take a. You can fire.
it's times 8, but it's all.
Yeah, times 8 is how much ammo it eats.
I can't kneel and shoot out the window, right?
No. There's
Yeah.
no way. Not with the height that I determined.
Yeah.
That the window's at. So, and it is. It's probably about 50 meters away.
Okay, I'm
So it's
100.
almost to the fence. Oh, is it 100 your short range?
Yeah.
Okay, so it's at short range.
Okay.
Um,
So just have my +5.
go ahead.
Come on, 99. 34.
That's under your reflex, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
And it's just one roll for that burst fire, right? And it's just double damage.
Uh-huh. Yes, double damage from whatever the
And it's
normal
not like I
damage
do double damage for all 8 rounds.
is. No, it's
okay.
just double damage because you're assuming that you're missing some, but you're putting enough in
And
that
that
you're
is
gonna
lethal,
do
by the way.
Okay.
Get up, get up.
it. How much?
A 9
Kill my nostril
plus
right in.
6, so 15.
So 15. Still alive. Yeah. It's really, you did tear it up, and
Slowing down.
it's not slowing down, but there's like nothing left of it. It's like skin and bones. It's the weirdest thing you've ever seen.
Could be your flamethrower is pretty effective on these.
Well, that's one of the things.
And it's a new round.
Let's go get
So
it.
initiative, everybody. It's heading for the fence. And the electric fence is
That's what I wanted.
off. It is shut off during the day.
Moving on.
I mean, that makes sense, right?
Oh yeah, yeah.
Like you wouldn't want to
Yeah.
be running it
Oh, yeah.
24/7 even with the solar power, unless something happened. And the controls for the electric fence.
Right here in the town
No, I'm
hall.
trying to figure out where they would be logically. I don't think they'd be in the town hall.
No.
I think they'd be near the fence. There's probably like a guard post. They wouldn't be right next to the entrance either, though. It's probably. I'm assuming that the entrance is that direction. The town hall faces the entrance of the compound, and it's probably off about 10 meters to one side of the actual gates that you guys have set up in a small prefab hut that has controls for the electric fence, and there's probably some kind of a There's probably an electromagnetic lock on the gate so that it can be locked and unlocked from the prefab hut. There's also a manual lock that can be thrown as well. You know, just a, you know what I'm saying, a latch, just like a latch on the thing. Right now the gate's open, and you hear yells coming from that direction. It sounds like Running Wolf. He's like, "What the hell is that?" And you remember he was near the entrance when all this went down.
Damn, I wish I would have thought of sending somebody
They
to
didn't worry about it, turn out this one.
Probably
Yeah.
would.
We'll
Okay,
get a
what I was
chance.
looking up. So let's just do initiative. Fence is 3 meters tall, so 9 feet.
Okay.
And there's probably let's make a roll. I don't know if there'd be barbed wire or razor wire at the top or not.
Yes, there would be.
You think there would? Yeah, okay.
Guarantee
There's
there
razor
room to
wire
make
on
sure
the
that
top.
there is.
There's razor wire on the top. Well, it's with all that's been going on, it does make sense. And that's going to be electrified too if it's on.
You still have CCNO?
Unfortunately. It wasn't long yet.
Did everybody roll initiative?
Uh-huh.
Okay. Adam.
9.
9.
12.
12.
Oh, no, not 12. 11.
11 for this.
I forgot the minus.
Boomer.
13.
13 for Boomer. And Flatline's a 12. Okay, so Boomer, what are you doing?
I'm moving over to the window. I'm taking my last shot.
Okay. Yeah, there's room enough for you guys both to be in the window. You're standing there. And Boomer comes up and just puts his hand out and takes a shot. It is 50 meters away, so for the handgun, is that still
That's
short
long
range?
No, it's medium range.
So there's modifiers then.
I roll a 15.
Medium is minus
15. Oh, okay, that's not gonna matter then. Yeah, the little missile. Boom.
30,
Yeah.
30, 30, 30, 30.
Where's my monster?
310, 310, come on, 310.
3 ones. 3 ones.
2, 2,
Two,
and
two.
2.
It's still on! Yes! 6 points total. Yeah, it hits it, but it doesn't do much. Yes! Oh my gosh, when Steve's luck turns bad, it just goes extreme.
Yeah.
Flatline, what are you doing? Boom! You're. Damn it! Oh, you probably did. You keep pulling.
Yeah.
Click, click, click. No.
Now, we see this thing run. Can it outrun us?
Yeah, it ran fast. How fast can you run? It's your stamina, right?
No, it's your
Meters?
fit.
I mean, you're fit in meters, right?
It's 50.
You think that it could probably outrun you? Yes. What's your fit?
52.
Yeah.
Since I didn't make a full move,
It's all
could I
50s.
have like jumped out the window after I shot?
That's what I was going to do.
No, because you didn't already announce it. Because
Okay,
you stopped
no
and you took a shot.
There could still be like
I wanna
giant
go-
glass.
I want to try to dive over these two, out the window, and tuck and roll. It says,
Kirk coming
it
through!
says leaping, see page 51.
Oh, okay. It's probably for, that's probably actually for length. See page 51 for leaping. Leap. The distance a character may leap depends on so many factors. Blah, blah, blah. The GM determination of exact circumstances is essential.
Last.
Okay, horizontal jump. You may jump horizontally from a standing position roughly 1 meter, plus an additional 2 centimeters per point of fitness. Vertical jump. You can jump from a standing position roughly 1 centimeter high per point of fitness. Okay, whatever. Yeah, tell you what. Why don't you do me a reflex check, and to see if you get through the window without either knocking those 2 guys down or hurting yourself somehow.
Okay, roll under my reflex.
Reflex or less, yes.
I did it.
Okay.
31.
So where's your menu? Which one's he?
Right here?
Oh, you're right there. So you basically his turn. Okay, so what he does is he comes running at you guys, and tell me if you don't want this to happen this way, but he uses y'all as ladders. And basically, he grabs onto your shoulders and flings himself, or he almost like runs up your back and flings himself through the window, does a tuck and roll, and comes up on your knee. Well, right? Or do you want to come up in a running, standing position and run
If I
after it?
can move any additional after that.
Yeah. I'll
Neil
allow you
might
to.
help you. Neil might help you more.
Half your fitness, was it fitness? Fitness determines range. Half your fit in yards is how far you can run past.
25.
This guy's 50 meters away. So you are 25 meters away from the hut and 25 meters from the thing.
I want to raise the baby.
I'm gonna take a shot. I'm gonna see if you're still alive.
Fisk is next. What do you do, Fisk? You just saw him do the Kirk shoulder roll out the window.
I'm gonna run out here and yell, "Turn on the fence! Turn on the fence!"
Oh, okay. Let me do a initiative check for Werewolf.
You drink my pop, man?
Nope.
All right.
Make sure.
Where the heck is
As you
that?
just go.
Oh. No.
What was it? Reflex, wasn't it, for your initiative bonus?
Yes.
Yeah.
And I rolled
5% or 10%.
I rolled 3, so he goes on 9. So he goes after you. And he goes the same time as you do, and he's up at the gate, and he looks your direction. If you're looking at the gate, he's looking at the thing like, and he just nods. He doesn't say a word. And on 9, you're going, and he's going at the same time, and you see him running towards the towards the
Gate
what did I call it?
Chaos.
Yeah, the gatehouse, whatever. It's only 10 meters in. Did I say that? Yeah, 10 meters. So he can easily get to it, whether he can get the switch on or not. I don't know how to work this thing. The big giant switch. Okay, Adam, what are you doing? That was a good idea, actually. Because he was kind of.
Okay.
He'll start moving. Adam, what are you doing?
Can I kind of jump out the window, like, put my hand out and just kind of leap through it, kind of thing?
I'm still going to require a reflex
Okay.
to see if you still can do other things or if it's a clumsy climb out the window.
Okay.
Or you just say, Boomer, climb me out.
How-
Push me out the window, Boomer.
Is there anybody still around this thing?
There are people, remember, because there's some people in
Okay.
between each. This is not a scale.
Right, right.
So it's 50 meters from here to here, 25 here. There's a few people here. Some of them have turned and run. Others are still not in the direct field of fire because the things
What
run
about
through.
ahead of
People are
that?
like,
Is there going to be approaching more people further?
that's a good question. Yes, there are some people between it and the gate, but not like directly in its path. Most of them are looking in your direction, and you see some are starting to, starting to do that, trying to get out of the way. There are no children in this colony, so at least I can't do that to you. So it's all adults. This colony is all adults. So there are a few people. I'm going to say there's about 3 people potentially between it and the fence.
All right, I'm going to leap out the window and get running after it then.
Okay, just give me a reflex check, and that's going to determine whether or not you make a clean.
Oh, yeah.
Wow.
Okay.
Yes.
10.
So he does it with a pirouette. He's out. You can do half your fitness in meters plus 10, and that's how far you can get.
Okay.
Because he had to do a little bit more getting out the window than you do, so you can get a little bit. So what is that going to be? What's
Half my
your
fitness will be 26.
26. So you can get 36 meters.
Okay.
So you're 25. He's 50, and you're going to be 36, and not necessarily like in a direct line.
Gotcha.
So.
Oh, I didn't break off.
And victim. Potential victim. And Running Wolf is also running to the
Because I paid attention to
the gatehouse.
Gets through the gate, just the height of the gate.
I'm in
Let's
charge.
see. He probably knows how to get the electricity
Right.
back
Let's
on.
probably use a breaker box.
Yeah, I'm gonna give him a reflex to see if he can actually get it done by the end of this round. And his reflex is a 63, so he's got a good chance of doing that. And 26 means you guys hear a hum of the generator next to the little hut. Yeah, hear it kick in.
That's a better one.
And there's no sound from the gate, obviously. This bird over there, the flying alien creature that just drops right off.
Little squirrel.
Yeah, you see that. So,
Jumped his nuts.
okay.
Try his nuts.
Okay, you know what? Okay. Okay. Almost as soon as that happens, this thing detours away from the fence.
Okay.
Like it knows
There's
what
that
just
sound.
happened.
Okay.
Which is a little unnerving.
We've been out here for how long? I mean,
A week.
yeah, so it can be picking up on what was going on.
And
It's intelligent, so
I'm trying to think if there's other. I said they had a couple more huts set up. Let's see if there's any of them over in this area. Maybe a 25% chance. Okay, there's not. This area is pretty barren. There's a few areas where crops have been started over here, test crops, but there's no high foliage in this or other structures that have been built. You've got stored unfinished prefabs over here and a few prefabs finished over in this sector. And remember, we're talking 150 meters in diameter. There's very little in the front too at this point.
Okay.
So there's not a lot of cover it can use. Crap, that might go for the fence then. It does veer more this direction than straight towards the fence. And we said, let's see, 75 meters in diameter, and it was at 50, so it's 20 meters from the fence. It runs to the 30 meter. It ends up going this way, which means it needs about 30 meters to get there. I don't think this thing's going to be able to jump over the fence. Oh.
Bird.
Oh, wait. Thanks, Adam.
No, this ain't just some dumb animal. It's intelligent.
Wow. Okay. Sick.
Can you all
Did not make it.
Okay.
Language. Hot dog. Brother. Just one. When it gets close to the fence, it actually goes to ground and just seems to kind of vanish from sight. It almost seemed to like ooze into the ground.
Okay. So it's gone.
It looks like it, yes.
Okay.
And what are you guys doing?
I'm
We're technically out of combat.
No,
but-
I'm going over there.
I'm gonna launch a grenade at it.
Okay. Boom.
There's
Actually,
nobody
maybe we
on-
better roll for initiative to see who does what.
There's nobody in the area, right?
No, these people, when it veered this way, the people that were in this direction headed towards the north side of the compound.
4.
No, 8.
Yeah, it's small distance. 9. Figured
Okay, so what do we got?
I
Initiative.
got 9 again.
9.
For Jack, 9 for Fisk, Boomer,
13, I'm sorry.
13 for Boomer, and Flatlines 10. So Boomer, you actually get to go first. You're still in the window, aren't you?
Yeah, I'm gonna
Okay.
climb out the window.
Are you trying to climb out fast so you can
Yeah.
run? Okay, so you're jumping out the window. Do me like a reflex check.
No, didn't make it.
Okay.
You fell
That's
out
what
the
you do
window.
this round. You climb out the window. You were gonna try to jump,
Yeah.
and then you got caught on the glass, and then you did this,
Flamethrower,
and then that
flamethrower,
happened. and then-
Flamethrower got caught in the window.
Yeah, probably did. Clunk,
Went off, burned
clunk.
his hand.
Because you had to get
Oh.
real low. So it's gonna take you that the whole round to actually
Yeah,
get out
that's
on your
fine.
feet.
That's fine.
Sorry, little dog. Okay, Flatline, you were 10, right?
Yes.
What are you doing?
How far away was he when he?
He was right next to the fence.
How far away
So,
from me? do you think?
he was 50, 25 and the fence is 75, so he's probably about 60 meters.
Okay.
Because it's the edge of the fence over in this direction instead of a direct route the way that he was going.
What's it auto fire? Oh, so you have automatic weapon.
Yeah.
Pistol doesn't do that.
You have 1 shot left.
No, I didn't get my second round of shots.
He just tore after it.
Oh. I thought you shot before me.
No, he ran in there, and then that was all his turn.
Oh, okay.
The next time you went,
Yeah, he fired 3. You've only
Okay.
fired 3
Oh, I'm
shots.
sorry. I'm sorry.
That's okay.
I'm going to run over to the spot,
Okay.
and using a run is your fitness,
Right. In
so
meters.
it's 50. So
Okay.
I'm within 10 feet
Right.
of
10
where
meters.
he, or 10 meters.
Yeah.
Excuse me.
You're within 10 meters of it. And
Uh,
you can see the footprints of the thing.
We gotta go for
I can't do a
player
regular
actions.
shot, can I?
Yeah.
It says you can't. It says you can run.
You can shoot while you're running,
All right.
but
I'll just
once
do-
you get there, that it takes you that long to get there in that 10
Right.
second round. So you can get within 10 meters of where it disappeared, and that'll be it. That'll be all you can
All
get
right.
done. If you don't do something while you're running.
Okay.
Okay. Fisk.
Could you reload while you run?
Oh, he's fine. I'm
Let's
Not,
do that.
not effectively.
Yeah, I still got 4 rounds anyhow. So.
Um,
And that's you up there, right?
yeah.
Okay. You're the one who's
Yeah,
actually
yeah,
literally
yeah.
where your miniature is. Well, no, Steve is too, because he's right outside the
Okay. I'm gonna run as
You
far
hear
as
the
I
humming
can.
of
So
the electric fence generator.
my fitness 59, so that's 50 again. Right.
What's 59?
Yeah, you could if you run, you can make 59 meters,
If you
Which is how much
sprint, and I would assume sprint would be a straight line.
pretty much. Most
If you sprint, you can go 2 times your fitness.
Oh wow. Okay. So yeah. So running and sprinting are different.
That's what I'm saying. Run. It says here you can run, and you can use a hand-to-hand action, an auto burst, a burst, or a thrown weapon.
Did you want to do that while you were
Well,
running?
my gun won't do auto
Oh, okay.
fire. It won't do a burst.
Or hand to hand.
Right.
Okay. That makes sense.
So I'm way behind. So put me
If you do a full sprint, you can get over there with that. Because what's your fitness?
59.
So you could sprint
120.
120 meters basically.
Because
118 technically.
In 10 seconds?
Full sprint.
Yeah, but
That's
holy
fast.
Yeah, remember you guys are not, you're more than human.
okay.
Normal
say,
humans are not going to have that high of fitness.
I'm Usain Bolt.
Yeah, 100 meter dash. Like,
Get
world
you
record's
guys.
Like 10.7 or something like that seconds.
92.
It's 9 something.
Yeah.
Well, even still,
Usain
if you
Bolt.
go to 120 meters,
No,
That's
that's
cutting the ground, isn't it?
that's freaking
And
fast.
carrying gear and everything.
Imagine you're the size of an NFL lineman too, and here you go.
That's your fit? Wow, this isn't that
Put me
accurate.
that. I'm on
It says typical
Okay.
stats 60 for a columnist for fitness. Well, this is kind of
Really,
bulky,
I'm
too.
honestly more fit than I am. Crazy.
Yeah, I think that's a little off too because I think the number should be a little bit lower.
The rounds.
Somewhere near it, it talks about it compares synths to humans, and you get bonuses for a lot of your attributes if you made a character in the game. So,
This is not a bad game.
No, it's pretty good offense.
so did you run all the way over to being
Yes.
near where he is? Okay, yeah, yeah, you can definitely get there. Do you stop? Actually, you could get past him,
You can run right into the fence.
right to the spot where this. You didn't see it disappear because you were on.
I'm way over.
Yeah, you probably didn't see it disappear. You were looking at Running Wolf. By the time you looked back, it was gone.
Right.
So you're just running to him.
Yeah, I'm just
Okay.
trying. I know they know something.
Yeah, he's running. Remember, you guys aren't in full packs right now either. In gear, you've got your weaponry and you got basic gear on and armor. I'm going too slow with this. Jackson, you're last. What are you doing?
I'm gonna call back and tell Running Wolf to lock down
The gates.
the gates in the gatehouse, and then I'm gonna run up and see if I can see anything
Okay. You're going basically up to them.
as far as I can. Yeah.
Yeah, if you're running, you are 36 meters out from the center, and the fence is 75 meters from the center. So a full out run will get you all the way anywhere you want to over in that area, either the spot itself or with these guys.
I'll go right to the spot itself.
Okay.
Try to check that
So
out.
he's 10 meters ahead of you. And you can see paw prints were dug into the ground as it was running, and then they just disappear right there. And there's only a little bit of slime on the ground.
This is a little slime.
And we're pretty much out of combat for the moment. Nobody's planning on doing any shooting or anything. Are you? Okay.
Just pull up one of it.
No, not from where I'm at. I mean,
Okay.
so I was
So
gonna walk over with my flamethrower towards the ground where that thing went.
okay. So you're walking over though.
Well, I'd be running over.
Okay, you run over. So you'll be able to get there in within 10 seconds.
I'm keeping a good eye. I'm trying to figure out what's going on.
He's right next to the spot. He is 2 or 3 feet away from
Yeah.
where the track's end, and he is right now looking around, very alert with his weapon, and you come up beside him. You guys are still a little bit back from them. Unless you want to move up, you can. You have that option.
I want to see. Can we see which way it went? Does the angle of the hole look like he went under the fence, or
Because there's no hole.
There's no hole.
He started digging a
He
hole.
started digging. Yeah, but you started
You just see
digging.
where
yes.
his feet.
It looks like it.
You
It
angle.
looks like he was heading towards the fence. And
You just seem like
the spot where it disappears, where the claw marks disappears, 4 or 5 meters from the fence.
Okay.
And you guys are kind of a climb up front.
Okay.
That kind of thing.
This gate, yeah.
Yeah.
I'd
What's going on? What's going on?
have told him, stand aside, and I just lift the ground up.
Okay. He says, stand aside. You back off and. How long do you want to flame it up?
I can get more, right? I don't just.
I can get more.
That's
See how long it's going to go.
How tall is the grass?
Sure, it's not real tall because they've cleaned up. They've had a week. They've cleaned up.
Because I can do a burst of 10. I got 10 shots, and I can do a burst of. I can do a 10.
Okay, how many bursts
You
you
can
want to
just
do?
empty it out.
I'm just gonna empty the damn thing.
Okay. He's just lighting the grass
But
up in that
But
area.
I would have known beforehand if I could get more.
You are supposed to be able to get more from the leader of the colony.
Okay, he'll
All
give
that
you all
stuff's
you
under
want
his,
now.
all that stuff's under his control.
Okay, but there is more here. I don't have the.
You've been told that there is more ammunition. Yes.
Okay.
Right. But whether you get it or not.
Because I've got two.
yeah, that's
I've
up
got
to him.
2 tanks.
Okay,
I
so
don't-
you're emptying one tank.
I'm emptying 1 tank.
Are you laughing maniacally while you're doing it?
Yeah. You son of a bitch! You ain't getting away from me.
You know, pretty much light up the entire area up to the fence.
Yeah.
Okay. So he, and that takes.
It doesn't say.
It's a burst every 10 seconds or so, essentially. So I'm assuming each one of those is a 10-second burst. So it's over a minute of him just like scorching the ground. And then it putters out. And it's done. And there's just a switch to switch tanks.
Yeah.
I'm
I
assuming
figured
you're
that-
not switching the tank and keep
Oh,
going.
I figured it was the 1 tank and then I had another.
Oh, yeah, that's what it is. So you empty it out. It's always got this little, and even your little pilot light. Well, that's on a separate little.
That's
thing.
like a
He
fuse.
grabs a cigar, reaches out and
That's what I was
lights it.
gonna do. That's what I was
Is
gonna
that
do.
what you're gonna do? Takes the cigar out, lights it off the pilot,
There you go.
and say something cool. Goes.
I gotta say, like, I'm just gonna bask in the glory.
Okay, you don't see any sign of it, especially now that he's scorched the earth.
Yeah.
So there's not even any residue that you can examine.
Yeah.
Good job.
Squad leader. I don't think our prince is doing this any good.
It might still be in here.
I saw the thing go underground.
I just saw it.
And how
Develop
deep
the
does this?
ground.
Yeah, how deep does this fence go?
It's probably just running.
Right. Exactly. That's my point.
Yeah, it's on the ground. It's on ground level. It doesn't
It
go.
also looked like a dog and opened the door. It could just have made itself look like the ground and
That's why.
Oh,
let
okay.
away.
I'm sorry. Come here.
That's why I torched it.
But yeah, couldn't move out of this area.
I dropped that on.
Or maybe he has other things it can do that we don't know about. Let's check on the wounded. Double check the gatehouse, make sure that's locked up. Check on the town hall, start getting those people taken care of.
Better quarantine the wounded, you think? You think we should quarantine them in case there is an effect of it changes them somehow?
Disease, maybe.
Might not be a bad idea. Why don't you two do a perimeter real quick?
Oh,
Make sure there's nothing else out of the ordinary. Start rounding up the wounded, or start making sure we have medical staff going, and I'm going to take care of the gatehouse and any other questions that
Yes, sir.
people have.
No problem.
I'm gonna go back to my tent, get the tank.
I reload my 3 shells I used up.
Okay. See if I can get the tank. You put shells in. What? Who's patrolling? Who do you want to
Oh,
patrol?
so we're gonna be walking
Okay.
the river.
You walk the perimeter. Everything seems quiet.
This thing changed shapes.
I know, I seen it.
So how do I know you're not him?
There's only one me.
Well, how do I know? And how do you know I'm not him?
Yeah, I thought I was in that job. That's weird.
That's him.
I'm talking to you. We ain't heard it talk yet.
Well, we need a sign. We need something that says, "Enjoy you and I me."
Can I have me?
Where's my equipment? Well, I guess we have transponders in our helmet. Even if he could morph into one of us, he wouldn't have that.
Mhm.
We have
You
to
don't
actually
think
take
so?
our equipment.
Yes.
All right.
That would be
Just
the
check.
guess. It turns out that the first one that was attacked was killed almost instantly. What was it? An Jiang, North Korea meteorologist.
She can predict the weather anymore.
Tsunami! Tsunami!
The other one that, the other guy, the guy that got jumped on and then bit and poisoned was Alexander Vernon. He was the counselor for the colony. He's a resident psychologist.
Well, great. Now the Italian guy ain't got nobody to evaluate him.
Yeah. And the poison did him in. So those two are dead. Reader comes out of the town hall hut, looking around and finds you eventually.
Okay.
And he's obviously very shook up. What is it? What are we going to do about it?
We're to find it and kill it.
Where did it go? Did you kill it?
We're still working on that.
How did it get away? I need a report. I need to know what's going on.
All in due time, sir. We're still working on it.
All right. Just let me know as soon as you know.
I will
My
do.
accent changed quite a bit for him, didn't it?
Yeah.
He sounds more Schwarzenegger-ish when he's
No, I just got stabbed by knee.
You guys do a perimeter check. The fence is up. It's running. There are a few people outside the fence. They had taken one of the
Is it like
agents.
a blue glow or something on this thing?
There's probably some
On the
small
posts
lights.
or something.
Yeah, on the posts that just flash as a
Okay.
warning to anybody. Not real bright, but enough that at night you see it.
And if you
During
get
the
close,
day, you'll notice
if
it.
you get close enough, a real high voltage, you'll hear a hum.
Yeah,
There's
there's a
a
hum when
studio.
you're close, and the generator hums loud enough that you can hear it throughout the compound.
Does this thing look plant-like?
No, it didn't. It looked like it was some kind of.
Like it's
Did we ever find anything else off of the little bits and pieces of the first one we fought?
That's kind of what it looked like once it stopped looking like a dog.
That's messed up.
Let's see.
Sweet. There's a bug.
And yeah, when it was running away, but then it became skinnier and skinnier and skinnier. So it was, kind of horrific looking. I like that picture.
That's a good picture.
We need more soldiers.
Yeah, these guys have 2, 4, 6, 7. There's only 7 guys. They're all just.
That's what I can do.
It's a good picture.
If I actually post it.
Anyway,
So I want to make sure the gatehouse is locked up tight. Like that thing can't slither its way in there and like turn things off or whatever.
it's locked up. There's a window
Okay.
that's closed up like that
Post
one.
running wolf at that station. So
Okay.
keep an eye on that. And just keep your eyes open in general and report
Okay.
anything you might see suspicious. What about the dude that was initially attacked by the squirrels?
Yeah, he's fine. I mean, he required some
Well,
stitches and some
Antibiotics.
antibiotics and antiseptic stuff to the wounds, but he does not appear to be suffering any more ill effects.
When I asked the peacekeeper if he had a chance to find anything else out about it before all this.
No. Well, he questioned the guy, and the Italian guy sticking with the story that he was attacked. They stumbled across this nest, and then this big one attacked him, and he ran away.
Okay.
And when presented with the evidence, he's like, I don't know what that is. I don't know what that is.
Okay.
And so the peacekeeper does not think he's telling the truth. And his guess is that Santora went out to do something or relieve himself or just take a walk or do some exploring, stumble across the nest and was killing them, and Mama Squirrel Thing didn't want to get him, attacked him. So he kind of deserved it. It's what you get from.
What's
this guy's name?
veterinarians
Yang.
running any tests or anything on the wounds? Is there anything suspicious about it? Since this is a new creature, I want to make sure there's nothing.
He's supposed to keep an eye. Their
Okay.
medical staff will keep an eye on.
I like to keep him kind of quarantined. I don't want him
Okay.
wandering around.
He's great with that.
Okay. All right.
He's actually seems to enthusiastically support that.
Okay.
And mentioned something about, killing small animals is first sign of psychosis and that kind of thing.
Right.
I'm tired of this thing running away.
So they'll lock him down.
I'm gonna visit some of the scientists and see if they were able to like make an anti-venom or whatever.
It's some kind of neurotoxin.
Okay.
And it's very complex, and they don't really have the equipment to make an anti-venom. If they get more of the venom, they might be able to.
Okay.
They don't have enough where they can actually
Can we get it
synthesize.
from the guy who got killed?
They can try. Yeah, they'll give that a shot.
Yeah, that woman got bit too, right?
She's got slashed.
Yeah, she got slashed wide open.
Huge
She got torn
amount.
up. They grabbed the second one. They grabbed Alec Vernon and just.
Go Higgins, we have a battle fighter there. That might be effective.
All right. I'll see if we can get some people to take care of the dead, and I'll let them kind of handle it how they want to handle it. If they don't have any services or anything or whatever.
Okay.
Yeah.
There's a minister. Maybe there's not.
You know what?
I don't think there's a minister on the list, is there?
No.
Probably paramedics.
Any kind of religious factor.
After they get done with the perimeter, we'll
Yes,
meet up
there is a
with them.
minister. Ujani Katani.
Tommy.
So basically, anything that's
Bejun Katani from
anything that's being
Botswana.
attacked, they died, right?
Yeah, the two people that got attacked died.
Okay, so there was no really wounded other than that.
Mhm.
Okay,
Other people got out of its way and was just fleeing at that point.
all right.
Yeah, he's considered the common chaplain.
All right, I got to
So
meet
he's
up.
African.
I'm going to tell these guys, if you see that St. Bernard, just shoot it next time. I don't care if it's real or fake.
Yes, sir.
What time of day is it?
It's around midday.
Midday?
No,
Wow.
mid-afternoon.
Did you get my tank?
I haven't had time to look for it.
Oh, I thought you were talking about it.
My only thoughts is he could morph into one of us coming in.
Well, we don't know what's all behind that. That St. Bernard disappeared, so maybe actually has to physically digest it or something to take on the shape.
Right.
Like he was saying with the common mice, I mean, as long as we have our equipment and none of us go
Oh, these are
missing,
repeating
we should know. What's the distance on these, their comm links or transponders, but well,
Good question.
Well, my radio is 120 kilometers, so I don't know what
Wow.
transponder would be.
I was just thinking that if we kind of as all the humans even going in and out would have an armband that they would put on when they went out,
You deep dug.
and they would know that to get back in the gate they have to hand the armband in. If something came back through the gate and didn't hand its armband in, you'd hold it prisoner.
7 kilometers, Adam.
7 kilometers is nice. Alright, feel better if we can find this dog dead or alive. Just so if we get a little bit more evidence on it.
If we find the dog, it'll be dead.
We hope, yeah.
Whether we find it alive, it'll be dead.
Okay. That's fine. I wanna send at least 2 people out to try to find the dog.
I mean, I'll go.
Alright, let me see if I can get another tank. I'll send the doc with you guys in case something else happens. So
Another tank from Reader.
yeah,
Okay. Are you giving him like a full report on what happened?
yeah.
He's unnerved by the whole incident. You didn't see any sign of him. You think he was in there somewhere, but you didn't see any sign of him. He might have been up in the office upstairs in the town hall when it all hit the fan. And yeah, he says that he gets information to the peacekeeper who will get it to the mechanic who will get you another tank for your flamethrower.
Okay.
And are you sending him out? Are you going out before you get the new tank?
I have a tank.
I know, the new one. Are you going out
No.
before? Okay.
I'm going.
So-
I mean, I'm going out
With
getting
your
the
crew?
tank.
Going to look for the dog.
Yeah, we're gonna look
Okay.
for the. I'm taking the tank. I'm taking my last tank.
Okay. And he's requisitioning you another one
Yeah,
to
'cause I
replace the
couldn't
one you
carry
did.
both. I couldn't
Gotcha.
Right.
carry both tanks anyways.
Gotcha.
I could
Gotcha.
have fish.
That's what I'm supposed to do. They actually say that's kind of what he's supposed to do.
He's gets his shit.
He's a drunk. Yeah, he gets all his drunk.
He gets the shit work. Hey, we need a latrine job. Fisk! Okay.
Probably shouldn't let anybody outside the gate for a few days. Other than us.
Again, searching, survival, or luck. Skill
Is the
check
doctor
for these two
anything?
guys.
I have luck.
These two are out.
Yeah, those two went on patrol to try to
What
find a
about the
dead dog.
doctor? Does he have any?
I got it.
Doc Martin, you mean?
Good boots.
Actually,
I
I
got
got
it.
Urban and Phil
No,
Turner.
he doesn't.
I,
Running Wolf has searching.
I hit my luck.
Did you? Okay. Steve, did you? Get
Yeah,
your-
my survival.
You guys do find the remains of the dog. And it looks like it's been mostly devoured by something. There's very little left besides bones. It's hard to tell how it died because there's not much left of it at all. You guys also one of the ATVs. The ATV that went out comes back. It's got a couple of scientists on board. I'm assuming the fence got turned back on once they went out to look for the dog.
Right.
And they stop at the entrance. Hey, what's going on?
There's an attack.
Oh, let us in then.
I would carefully check over everything, just kind of give them a good eye down, make sure like the ATV isn't kind of scratched or banged up or otherwise damaged, any kind of thing like
It doesn't look
out of
like
the
it.
ordinary.
I mean, there's marks on it, like they probably went through the woods or something.
Right.
This is the Indian botanist and the biochemist from Qatar have gone out to get samples.
Okay.
And they've got a couple sample packets on the side of the bike, like saddlebags almost. And they, come on, let us in.
Okay. After
You look them over and they look normal.
Okay.
And they look really nervous. They're still sitting on a bike and they're like, they're both kind of looking around. They don't have any weapons or anything.
right. 11 of them.
Okay. Running Wolf. Well, he just opens the gate up. And they drive in the ATV and then he closes it up again.
Went out.
She probably does.
I can let her out.
Oh, she won't go with you.
You
Trust
sure?
me. Yeah, I think she
You
will.
take a finger.
Run out.
You want to smoke, don't you?
No, I don't care. No.
What time is it? It's 10. Well, we can keep playing or we can wrap it up, actually. That's up to you guys.
I don't keep playing.
Okay. Because we can keep playing.
Yeah.
I mean, this is a giant, whopping 4-page adventure. So, right now we're into new territory, and I get to decide what happens.
Oh, the adventure's actually over right now.
Well, that confrontation with that thing, but it's obviously still out there. I mean, who knows what? So I get to make up shit now.
Okay.
So while these guys are out,
She's actually going with that.
searching the area and stuff.
Yeah, those two went out, but you did find the dog.
Mm-hmm.
And it was, it's almost a kilometer from the compound. You find other tracks too that you don't recognize, and you're not sure what they are.
Is there any way I can follow these tracks?
Yeah, you can follow them. They meander through the jungle, and there's places that are almost impassable. They don't really still lead anywhere in particular, you know what I mean? They move around, and at one point they're actually, you follow them for quite a ways, and you come back to the compound. And it comes up to one of the fences of the compound, or to the tree line by the fence. Did she pee?
Yeah.
Good girl.
So this thing is, it's not a den or anything. I can't find a den or anything.
No, not the tracks that you're leading, and it is starting to get dark. It's late afternoon, so I'm guessing you have a couple hours of daylight left.
We better head back.
Well, you're there, because that track led you back to the compound,
Oh.
remember? From a different
That's
angle. And it didn't go past the tree line, though. And you notice it does go back into the trees and come back to the tree line and goes back out
Well,
of
I'm
the trees.
gonna
and comes
report to
back.
the leader.
Hey, Adam?
Yeah.
Give me another pop.
Okay.
While you're up. Okay, and so you guys return to the compound. Yeah, you probably have about an hour of daylight by the time you get back to the gates.
That thing's been scouting us. I've been following the tracks. It comes in different points on the perimeter. It's been scouting. It's been watching. It's definitely intelligent. It's not just some dumb animal.
How could you get by the fence?
Kind of the same way I got out.
By the fence, not.
I know, but I'm just saying.
These are old tracks. This is not just something.
I know what you're saying. I'm just saying. We still need to figure out if it bypassed the fence somehow. If so, how?
We hadn't bypassed the tracks lead up to the fence.
To the wood line.
The wood line onto the wood
Did
line.
we find any tracks like where it came back out of the earth?
Do me another roll. At half.
Against what? Half?
Against your, what's your,
Not even
the same as before. The,
All I have is luck.
then
My
tap your
luck
luck.
is. Oh no, I
Can
missed
you
it.
use XP for
You did.
anything
You
in
did
these?
fine.
Yeah.
No.
Did you die?
Sailing.
I get calls.
So what are you guys playing back there?
You can use
Call it field.
you can use experience for
Yeah, I'm looking that up right now because Adam remembered I had totally forgot about it.
I'd like to if I can.
PC rewards. Okay.
I forgot about that. I could use it on some things.
Killed
Nice.
Count my damage, right?
I'd be dead right now. That'd be awesome. Oh, it's in this book.
you. Oh,
I become Doc Martin, his best friend, and then you end up dead. And he's like, I'd like,
You
to
killed my best friend.
I'd like to start this adventure, but you can kill each other off.
Okay.
Because you only missed by
Taxing
10%, right?
abilities.
Well, 38, and so it's 19. I missed by 11.
Oh, okay.
So I can
You have
use
to do it before you roll the dice. You have to tell before you roll the dice.
Oh.
But I will let you re-roll if you want to do it. Hold on, let's figure out how this is done real quick. However many.
It might not be worth it now. I mean,
Once the dice rolls, the chances pass.
this isn't like a do or die situation.
No.
So, yeah. I was just throwing it out there in case it was something
Okay.
beneficial.
You spend them in points in increments of 5, and what that does is basically they improve an ability check. They're subtracted from your total, regardless of whether it succeeds or fails. So whatever you roll on your dice, if you say I'm going to spend 10 experience on this, you'll subtract 10 from that roll, and then you roll the dice and you compare that to your reflex or whatever, but it's like a bonus of 10.
Right.
Or 15, or 20, or 25, or 30, up to 50, because that's how many points you guys have.
Yeah.
So you can
Okay.
use those. You can spend them that way.
Nobody's dying yet, like you
Yeah.
said. That's a
Okay.
good idea.
Yeah, it's for when you want to do something, superhuman or something. Like
Right.
pick up the side of the Kwanzaa hat. You're like, yeah, I'm gonna blow my 50. You have to make it a 1. Oh look.
I just
Son of a.
Okay, so you guys didn't find a place where like tracks started out of nowhere, but that was just generally looking as you were searching the area.
So if we specifically look, we might later
Yeah.
tomorrow.
Mm-hmm.
Cool.
I mean, if you give me a specific place that you look for too, that will help too.
I'll wait till in the morning and look outside where it went out. Trajectory, straight line.
So you got all the colonists back in who are still alive. And you guys all have returned to the compound, and Electric fence is up and the gates are shut. People are on edge and very unnerved. Reader already got the full report from you, and he's very worried about the situation. Because you say this thing seems very intelligent, and he's wondering.
I went directly to this place, to the town hall, right?
What?
It went directly to the town hall.
Yeah, it came in the gate, went directly to the town hall, opened the door, walked in, and then that's when the screaming started.
You know that wasn't something picked out of a dog's head.
Yeah.
Probably not, although the dog has been sleeping in the town hall.
And it's the only building right now.
There's a couple of little huts set up. They're
Definitely
not
was like the
inhabited.
most
They have not been,
important though.
they've not been inhabited yet.
The thing is, the tracks show that he's been watching us.
Right.
I want to get a report on if there's somebody else alive that was in there and how it transpired. Did the thing break in and the lady was just his first in its path?
Yes,
Or
that's
it's-
pretty much what happened. It came in the door. The dog came in the door just like a dog, because the door opened, and what you saw when it opened the door, then it went in and went back down on all fours, and then like seconds later, it stood up, and then these claws just came out and it just tore into this first woman. And
Okay.
then you guys ran across in time, got in time to see it jump on the psychologist, and it held him down and just give him a nice bite, a real clean bite actually. It wasn't like doing like this, just went and then let go of him, and he started. And that's when you intervened. And from what you can tell from the witnesses who are really unnerved, and you're getting conflicting accounts from people. One person claims that the thing leapt at the woman, like it knew who she was. Another person just claims that she was just right there and it just. One person thinks the thing was after him. He seems pretty shaky.
Okay.
But people got in the way. He was just lucky because he knew what was coming for him. And everybody's very shook up.
Okay.
The colonists are talking about needing better protection. Maybe they should be armed too. Blah 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 blah. The people you talk to are one or two of them are angry that you guys let people die. But you know how people are.
Right.
And overall, there's a very large sense of unease that they've already lost 3 members in the colony, and it's only been a week here.
Right.
6%.
It's not even reissued.
So while these guys were out searching, I'm still working. I'm going to work on trying to think of some kind of like I did with the ATVs, tracking device or GPS.
Okay.
I'm trying to make it as small as I can.
Okay.
Try to figure out some way to put it into a tranquilizer. Tired of this thing running away from us.
Okay, so
Let me make a skill
yeah,
check.
the colony actually does have one tranquilizer gun.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll need a skill check for what do you got
I
there?
have computer systems and I have comm gear.
Let's do comm gear.
Okay.
Whatever that's behind.
They're both the same. Actually.
Yeah, that's kind of what I figured.
And then do the bonuses and then
Your XP.
yeah,
You could use your XP to give you bonus. What's your percentage chance of success there?
56.
56. So if you decide, you can if you want.
I will use 20%.
Okay.
I want to make sure.
So that's a 76% chance of success.
I'll just be made
Okay.
Oh!
How much did you miss it by?
9 points.
9 points. Okay. You're not able to do it before you need to bed down that night.
Okay.
You got the components together. You haven't. The biggest issues is something small that's going to stay stuck in the thing
Right.
and not be damaged on impact, and that's where you're having the issues with it. Mark off those. You'll be able to.
20 points.
It'll after another day's work. I'll let you make
It's
another
almost
roll.
falling back there, isn't it?
Yeah,
Say again.
Water fountain.
Is it?
That's
I didn't know that. So you don't have it yet, because that's the biggest problem. Is the components are relatively fragile, and you have to figure out a way to pack them.
Sure.
And you want it small enough so that it really kind of goes into the thing,
You don't
because I know this
not
is
just
going to morph.
dangling off the side.
Right, this thing's going to morph. I want it in him.
Yeah, that's where you're running the biggest issues with, and that's
Right.
why you haven't gotten anywhere with it yet. But you've You could probably actually commandeer one of the, with his permission, you could try to commandeer one of the
Like I
Kwanzaa
said, I
huts
thought about that
or one
too,
of the
but,
small
you know,
prefab buildings that
that
aren't
building,
inhabited yet.
you just
Turn
like
into a temporary
Right.
workshop to work on this.
Right.
If you want, but you need to talk to Adam about that because he'll have to get permission from the village leader guy.
Okay.
Because right now you're just working in the tent, working in your tent,
Right.
which isn't the best of
Under a
conditions.
flashlight.
Yeah, well, no, not you've got lights in there, but you probably don't have a very good table to work on, so you're probably just doing it on your cot, because that's basically just for sleeping. You set up watches that night. 2-man watches. Is that what you were doing?
I would do tonight 2-man watches.
I thought that's what we were doing
It was
before. I
2-man.
think it was 2-man.
Yeah. Yeah, we'll continue with 2-man
Okay.
watches. Keep within close proximity one another. But
Okay. On your watches, you do hear stuff moving around out there in the woods. But you have no way of knowing if it's the thing or if it's other wildlife. Might be those weird gazelle-like creatures. Some of the colonists have reported spotting them, the gazelles,
right.
but they didn't have weapons to do anything about it with. You know, to like try to capture or kill
So
one
like
to examine.
hostile unless
They're not supposedly they're not aggressive unless they're attacked.
right.
And
I don't have flares up on your launcher, but
that was not considered necessary equipment by whoever decides that, the officers. Other than that, the night passes uneventfully. Nothing assaults the camp. Nothing appears inside the camp of any strangeness. And the next morning dawns. Kind of wet and overcast, actually, and you're getting some rain now.
If you're gonna look for tracks, we're gonna do it soon.
Yeah. Better get around the fence. We take that straight line trajectory.
I'm gonna recommend we just turn the fence off because evidently, I mean, it stopped it from getting out, so it wouldn't stop it from getting back in. It just halts our, just closes us up more.
See
So,
what this does.
Well, squad leader, with your permission, I have an idea.
okay.
I'm just going to do an idea when you're.
Okay.
Yeah, he's been fiddling with stuff. Well, you got him to requisition the trank stuff, the darts at least.
Not the same stuff boomers do.
Can you guys hear that?
Yeah.
That rain's going on.
Right now, I don't think I got too many things going on my computer at once.
Yeah.
46 and you sit in your way.
Well, okay, so what do you need then? The big gun and everything? Is what
Elbow room, really. Is what I need. A place to work.
Oh, okay. That's what we can do. I mean, obviously, our spots are limited, so. I'll see if I can find if anything there. Or you two guys, Black, Beamer, see if you can find any tracks. Turn the location officer for it in 3 hours soon.
Okay, so you're trying to go outside and check the tracks.
Yeah,
Right of the fence on the outside where it disappears on the inside. Okay.
Hopefully.
Yeah, do me, what did we say before? Survival. Yeah, the same thing,
Survival.
survival up for you.
Okay.
I wouldn't even make you make a roll except the rain has caused some problems.
made
And
it.
that was a random thing too. Checking this stuff.
I thought about, like, when there was protection for, like, how do you know rainforest? Like, I thought,
I just thought about rainforest.
yeah.
You find a spot where tracks just start out. And it's not far, it's just at the tree line from the edge of the fence.
It's been a long time. I'll follow them.
They move into the other sets of tracks. Keep prowling the perimeter again. And there's a spot where you follow it, it's just gone.
What's above us? Like just trees and things like that. But it could go to tree. It could have went to the tree. Or?
Trees and vines are up there. It could have climbed the tree. Could have gone back under the ground. If it can change shape, who knows? The PFC Jackson made some mention about it flying away at one point, just in jest. You said it as Adam.
Goes wings flies away.
Oh yeah.
And I was like, oh. And if it's a shape changer, who knows what it can do.
Get out of here.
You guys are saying.
Predator.
Yeah, we only got.
Should have found the dog and also see if the dog collar fell down.
She gets tore out pretty bad.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I don't
It's probably laying low for a little bit here.
I was gonna say they probably have to heal.
Because it's probably just recondition itself and just put things back where it used to be. And
Is they able to find him a workable location?
Yeah, yeah. After some convincing, Reader hands over temporarily one of the prefab huts that he thinks today.
Does it look like on his tracks that he follows the same path every time? Looks like the one path.
No, you're picking out different paths through the woods, and none of them are. Actually, it looks like it does a different path every time, which is kind of disturbing to you.
We have tripwires to do trips.
You can requisition them from Reader if he's got any.
That's all I got. But I
Claymores
also
and
thought if you can get the electrical fence, I mean, stuff like that. Essentially,
That's the thing we watch, you know?
yeah. They have to be strategically placed. And where would you put them at? Just because it's so wide open. That would be my only thing.
You need a baby. You need a bear. That's bait that no monster can resist.
We don't have any children here though.
We don't want to.
Look at that bartender.
It's gotta have a home. It's gotta go back to someplace. It's not like it just.
Well, I hope it doesn't have a family.
Let me turn this off.
That thing all go to the funeral.
Hope it doesn't have a family. It's going to get him. Wait, what?
How far have we really like scouted around the area and have other people gone? And do they kind of like make a map or kind of like constantly?
Yeah, but
People, yeah, but it's
update
really well, no, actually, using the computers and stuff, there's a relatively accurate map back at the town hall. On the main
Okay.
computer.
Yeah, but it's pretty much staying in this area.
Well, it's scouting us.
From what you
but-
can see from the tracks, yes. Although some of the tracks again disappear for no apparent reason.
Teleport.
We must have some kind of a plane.
Is there any way we can
device or
dig? Is
hovercraft
there
or
anything
something?
we can dig where we chart that area?
Yeah, you guys, there's plenty of digging tools in the
I want to dig in that chart
There's
area.
picks, there's shovels. As part of your equipment, you've got the e-tools, the little shovels that.
Yeah, I just
Break
want to dig.
down.
I just want to dig.
And this thing didn't have any smell to it, right?
No, you didn't smell anything when it came in the second time.
Probably a
But the
different
dog didn't. I don't know.
The smell might have been the creature that he assumed, like the badger. It might have been unnatural.
Right. Right. And the dog hadn't been dead most of the time. So.
Okay, Rick, make your check on your
All right.
transponder.
This is the only one I can make, right? I only have to make one.
You could cannibalize some equipment if you want to make another one, but it's gonna take several hours. It'll probably be easier to do a second one, but again,
Right.
it's
Well,
a complicated little thing you're trying to make.
For me, it's pretty important that I make this
No, I think it's great.
first thing, so I'm going to use up my last 30 points.
Oh, okay.
So it gives me an 86. Got it.
All right.
Didn't
How
you-
much did you make it by?
Way.
650.
Okay.
That's a good one.
Okay. What you got is you trimmed down because the tranquilizer thing was that one of those big things with the big feather crap on the end.
Right.
What you've done is you've trimmed it down so that all the transponder equipment is in the very tip, and the rest is made to, once it hits, actually easily break off.
Good.
And your hope is that the tip will embed itself deeply enough into the thing, so even if it rips this thing off, it's not going to pull it out. Once it pulls, the end will break off, leaving the tip in. It should work with the one tranquilizer gun that they've got in the compound.
How many was he able to make? Just one?
Just the one.
Oh, shit.
It's fairly rugged, although it's still got like the feather thing on the back so that to identify it. Your guess is if you fire and miss, as long as it doesn't hit a tree or anything really hard, the transponder equipment There's a good chance it'll survive.
Salvageable.
If it hits a tree or one of the prefab huts or something,
Then
it'll
I know where
probably
that tree's
smash.
at.
Yeah. Well, no, you're trying to shatter the whole end. So,
Tree's still moved.
if it ends up in the dirt, if you fire it and it misses and it hits the ground, you think it has a good chance that it won't be destroyed and you can try to use it.
I want to try to check it out, make sure it works. You know, check out the
Yeah.
like little screen.
Yeah, it does. It gives you range and it gives you direction. It's a real simple system, and it's got a range of about 1 kilometer.
I want to start asking around the compound and see who.
We'll have that done about mid.
Heinz,
Reader. Yeah.
Reader. See who he typically associates with.
He associates with his wife.
Okay.
He mainly deals with the peacekeeper. He deals with the chaplain. There is a physician. Hoi Li from Hong Kong.
Okay.
He deals with him some, and some of the scientific members of the community.
Well, I want to talk to
He did deal with Vernon, the counselor.
who's dead.
Yeah, he's dead.
I want to talk to some of those people and just try to get a feel for this guy.
Okay.
See if anybody's got, if they knew him before they came on the trip.
No, people are from all over the country. All over the world. Only his wife really knew him. As a matter of fact, I think those two are the only ones from Germany in the whole group. And most of the time, most of the people did not know each other at all until they were put in.
Okay. I just want to see if anybody can give me some different reports, and maybe if he's acting a little different or just kind of I don't know, anything.
No, he doesn't seem to be.
Okay.
This one, going to lunch or something.
And towards the end of the day, or midday, or not midday, mid-afternoon, you get yours finished, and you can tell him that you got this tranquilizer dart transponder thing done.
Cool.
So now it becomes
Now the whole thing becomes finding the thing, probably.
Well, how do we get it back here?
And I let the other 5 guys know that I built it, but I can't shoot it.
Give it,
I built it, but I can't shoot.
It's not under my skills.
Okay.
give it to
What's the sniper?
Small arms.
No, it's right. It's it'd be under
Oh, I've got long arms.
long arms. It'd be under long arms.
Yeah.
Martin.
The NPC can't do the work for you guys. That's not any fun for you guys.
No.
He's
And
the only
he's
sniper we
he's
have.
just got a reflex too, and he's got
Under skills is he have long arms?
What's his
No.
reflex?
small arms, side arms, heavy pistol, first aid, arms combat, thrown combat, arms combat.
I assume the 3 of you probably have long arms.
I have long arms.
You don't have long arms? What kind of do to you?
small
Who has
arms,
long
side
arms?
arms, heavy weapons, grenade launcher.
Uh-oh.
I got long arms.
Okay, well, what do you 2 then?
I'll take it. It's fine.
NPC must have failed his sanity check.
I've got
I'm
what's
looking
your
through these.
reflex?
Here we go, firearms.
My reflex is 62.
Oh, you better do it. I'm 10 lower than you.
Okay. I've also got auto fire. I don't know. Was that the only way you can use auto fire?
With what?
I didn't think about
A
that.
skill.
Auto fire is a skill.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I did not know
Because
No wonder I missed so bad.
that. I've never done this before. Yeah. It is a skill. I did not realize that. Long arms, specialization in rifles, shotguns. Now those are specializations. Firearms is the general one. Here's another cheat sheet.
If you don't have specialization, you get -20.
You found it for me. Okay, so you could still do the.
Auto fire.
Well, no, with the firearms, you can still use
Long arm.
long arms, but you're going to get that -20 because you're
Right.
more generally familiar.
Right.
Like Running Wolf has small arms, and that covers.
But he's got a big freaking
Things like sidearms. And
Yeah, and then there's sidearms, which is a specialization. The long arms is a specialization. And you can also specialize in a particular type of weapon. And he's got small arms and sidearms. Heavy pistol. He's specialized in that too.
I got small arms and long arms.
He's more of an unarmed toe-to-toe combat guy. I don't know why he's got a sniper laser rifle.
I know.
This seems kind of dumb.
Somebody
Because
has
he's not really a
that from
sniper. He's,
Yeah.
but it's his weapon, I guess.
Is it just a handgun though, or is it a sniper?
It's a sniper laser rifle.
Okay.
It does decent damage.
I've
But,
got.
well, they assigned it to him. He's just not that great at it.
Oh, yeah.
So you have the minus 20%.
Okay.
So, but you got long arms.
Yeah, so you're probably most likely.
And his reflex
So what's
is
the
a bit
plan?
higher than mine. How are we gonna get it out of there?
And you still have experience points left, right?
Yeah,
I did one
that-
shot.
Yeah.
Why don't we put
I
it?
only have to use
You know
40.
what? I kind of wonder if it hasn't tasted cow yet.
But it's gonna take a while to grow those things, isn't it? Clones?
Yeah.
Would there be calves?
Yeah, a few days.
Quick, build a McDonald's. Wait a minute, that ain't cow.
Well, we could get ready and get some calves out there. Something he hasn't seen to eat yet.
Well, you know, like nothing
Kill
happened
squirrels.
until the guy went out there and killed those squirrels. I
No,
wonder
he
if it's,
attacked us when
Yeah.
we got here.
When we first got here, the
but that
first,
was way on the other side of the planet.
No, that was this clearing where you guys jumped
Yeah.
by Badger Bear monster thing.
I
Yeah.
thought
No, you, went to,
No.
you stopped at the first clearing and nothing
Nothing
happened.
happened.
This is the clearing where you guys
Is
got
it?
jumped. Yes.
okay,
Yeah.
guys.
That's why I said this isn't a good idea to go automate the decision.
Yeah, and it was told that you guys scared off some badger thing, and the Star Lieutenants decided, well, that's our best bet for putting people.
So maybe we're
down.
too close to his home. Maybe we just find his home.
Can I see that?
Yeah, don't worry about it. Boom. Don't worry.
just the
That's
cow.
Doc Martin.
The only thing we have nothing on it. We don't know where it would nest.
Well, that's why I was wanting to look at those maps to
Caves.
see if they like anybody noticed any caves or like had anything mapped out there kind of suspicious.
Not caves per se, but there's some rough area where there seem to be not necessarily burrows, but weird holes in the ground.
How big?
Not real big, maybe
Okay.
a foot and a half, 2 feet in diameter, less than a meter in diameter.
So we go
It'd be
scout it.
something that you could crawl into, but they didn't investigate it because they looked weird.
Right.
And it's just something somebody noticed. They quick marked it on the map. And
How far
they-
away is that in relation to where the dog incident and like the squirrels and everything were?
It is northeast of your position.
Okay.
Squirrel things was kind of northish, and kind of in that direction, meandered north by northwest. They say it's northeast. It was about 2 kilometers away. And
Alright.
colonists before this attack had been going out and taking samples and getting all kinds of stuff, and since then they've been kind of huddling closer to the compound.
I'll ask the peacekeeper like if he has anybody you can trust to keep an eye on the colony while we go out and scout.
There's just him.
Just
And the only weapon he's got's a sidearm.
Okay.
Because he's not really the heavy weapon guy in this.
We'll leave the
That's who it
medic
is.
and
A running wolf. Okay.
So
Before we head out to
Yeah.
hunt. Dun, 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 dun. Okay. So you're gonna be armed with the.
I'm gonna have it, but I'm gonna be walking around with my assault rifle until
Okay.
I know I need to use it.
And are heading off towards the burrow area that they found. Okay. Everybody can again make me a survival or
That's under skills, right?
yeah, searching, survival, or luck.
So I can do it at half of nothing, or just
Half of either searching or
Mine
luck,
have luck.
either intelligent or psi, because you can't do the learning.
intelligent or side.
Intelligence or psi, yeah. Because learning
do
stuff
psi
you
then.
can't even try
So
because
they would have my
that's
side.
one of the neat rules in here. Because I think if it's a learned skill, it's under learning. You don't have the training to even try to do it.
Right.
Right.
And that makes sense. I mean, some of the things about this game really make a lot of sense.
Made it.
Waited.
You two guys do find some tracks that look similar to some of the ones that you saw back around the compound, in the general vicinity of these weird burrows, which they almost look like little sinkholes, flat down in the ground.
Okay.
There's about a dozen of them. And as you get closer, you see that there's more of these tracks like all around this area.
We should gas these holes.
You wanna-
gas them out.
That or what kind of grenades have you got on you?
Oh, I got some. good stuff.
I guess he pulls his jacket open. I got the good stuff, and I got the good stuff.
I know what we could do. I could set a smoke grenade down one and see if they're all interlinked.
There you go.
Good.
Yes, you could.
I'll do that.
Okay.
Because we really.
You don't really have to make a roll, Steve. I mean, you're going up to one of the things and dropping it in, right? You're not like trying to toss it like a basketball.
I'm telling him to get back. I don't want to just go.
No. I'm assuming he would toss it and move
Yeah,
away
okay.
as quickly as
I just
possible.
want to make sure it wasn't.
Come on,
When he does that,
out of every hole.
I pull my gun, and I kneel, and I aim.
Okay. And you shoot Boomer? Okay. You've dropped the grenade and backed off. Some smoke does come out of some of the other holes. The ones that are closest to that hole.
I want to make sure we're not missing one right behind us or something stupid.
No. I'm assuming you've scouted this area fairly well before
Okay.
you put this plan into effect. Fine, trust me. I'm trying to screw the players.
I'm saying.
I let them screw themselves sometimes. I let them screw them. Your guess is at least some of the holes are connected. They might all be, but the smoke might not be going far enough to get some of the outline holes.
Nothing came out.
No. Nothing came out.
Okay.
I mean, like, nothing at all came out. You don't see any other creatures coming out of these holes.
Alright.
Now, when we look at the tracks, do any of them look different size, or do they look all pretty much the exact same size?
They're
Exact same marks, exact same.
some of them are slimmer.
I say, what
than-
about
than
the ones?
others that were some look like this, while others look like that. You know what I mean? Does that make sense?
Yeah.
But there might be multiples, just different weight.
Or
could
what
be,
about
yes.
like when you saw the one that appeared out of nowhere and was heading away? Were those tracks smaller than the ones that ended in, or ran through the compound?
Yeah, the ones that you two guys found outside the fence that you went specifically on the spot to look for, they looked. I'm trying to think of it. They looked very similar, and they're slim, like the ones that were inside the compound after it busted out of the town hall.
They looked
And
the
you all
same
remember,
size?
yes, and y'all remember that as you shot it, it seemed to
Right.
slim up, like
There
it
could
was
still
like,
be only
like
one,
miles.
but it's
yes, that
changing
is, it
size.
could be that, yes.
So I just want to make sure. So the tracks after it left the town hall were still the same as when they appeared outside the fence.
Yes, and they're kind of a slim.
Well, they are
slim
slim. Okay,
track.
okay, that's fine. Okay,
And in this area, you're seeing, and some of the thicker tracks look a little older.
okay. And did you say that they kept the same path when scouted, or it was kind of random
It
stuff?
was kind of random, but you could tell he was scouting.
Okay.
Yeah, it,
It
didn't,
was
it wasn't
showed
like
intelli-
taking the same path every time.
It showed intelligence.
Yes, definitely. You
Okay.
definitely got that.
Because it was an animal, it would follow the same path pretty much the whole time.
All right.
The position and throw some liposuction on this thing.
Maybe we'll just maybe requisition some snares or
Nip
something,
and
or some live traps, or just regular traps, and set them up by these holes. See if we can figure out what's using these.
No, traps not gonna.
But meanwhile, let's just keep going. We'll start heading west and swing around to where the squirrel incident was, and see if there's anything in between these two locations and anything else around there.
Or I could throw a grenade.
Here's all the holes.
I could throw a
We're saying
grenade
this
down
is the
there
holes area. Let's grab a bunch of trees because this is all.
Because the smoke might not bother him.
We also don't want to draw a lot of attention to ourselves. There could be more of these things out there, and we could have like a whole herd of them.
Yeah, if there's more than one, we're
That'd be
screwed.
fun.
We screwed the pooch.
Actually, the area where this little sinkhole's in is kind of clear.
No offense.
Might as well.
She's.
Oh no! You say that about me.
Had to bring freaks in here.
Can't smoke them out. Well, you said not all the holes are smoking?
No, not all the holes. I'm assuming you hit one towards the center.
Yep.
The ones immediately around it, some smoke came out, some more than others. The ones further on the edges, and we'll say it's just kind of shaped like that. There wasn't any that you could see.
Who's our skinniest guy? Who's our taller rat?
Oh, great.
Don't do this
You
shit.
know.
Probably me, I'm an office clerk.
No, you were.
Well.
Your guy that you're made from almost. Running, fitness, sun, charisma. There's nothing that really says. So you guys can decide amongst yourself who the skinny guy is.
Right, fitness, I would say.
You can vote on it. Everybody vote.
Oh, great.
Secret vote.
Here
Who always
comes
gets
this
fist,
guy.
fist,
Here comes
fist,
this.
fist.
Russ,
Dude, you're so
we can
skinny.
do it.
I can do it. I can do it.
How's he gonna see down there?
There really isn't
Have
any kind of
flashlights.
description on these guys either, is
We
there?
never got lights. We got tactical equipment. We got lights.
Yeah, you would have flashlights.
Okay.
They would, those little ones that fit in your pocket. Would have,
Okay.
I can do this.
and probably your helmet would have a
Yeah.
flashlight too.
All right. Well,
I can.
go for it.
And you got some in your pocket. You got 100 flashlights.
You hit a button, you glow like
Oh,
a big
it's-
LED.
Oh, somebody called. Yeah, crawl in the hole. Yeah. Send the flamethrower down.
Yeah.
Because you can use it in there. Ah! Who's the skinny? Who asked that? Who asked who's the skinniest guy in the crew? Was that Stevie?
Over.
Probably.
Do we have any rope then?
There is no like strength score. I think fitness covered all that.
We at least have some kind of freaking.
You can. Yeah, you could have
Nylon
some
rope.
Some nylon rope.
At least
I
tie that to
would
a
say-
leg.
Who has the fewest body points? That might tell you size.
I have 18. Well, 19.
I can just make someone go. I mean,
And
I
it's
thought-
a big
I mean, instead you're true to your character, you would have sent me already.
yeah.
Oh, the
Yeah,
cardboard
ranking.
guy. Reflexes and fitness.
What's your ranking? Grunt.
Fitness is the
He's the lost. He's the lost.
Yeah, I am
character's
the
muscle and the ability to use them effectively is fitness. So I'd say the lowest fitness guy is probably the skinniest. That's really what it probably comes down to. Because that's the only thing that even comes close to strength. So Doc Martin's a 47. So he's probably your skinniest guy on the whole team, but he's not out here with you guys. So among you guys, who's got the lowest fitness?
We have 52.
Mine's 57.
59, I'm the fattest.
Really? It's just like he's the skinny guy. Because that's kind of an overall fitness is kind
Yeah,
of
well, my guy knows things about him. I don't think he'd fare too well going down the I'm sending Fisk anyhow. Get your fat ass down.
Should have ate that last Twinkie, boy.
You're sending a fist.
Better learn a few things from this monster.
Squeeze yourself. Squeeze. Get in there. Squeeze like pig. So you're sending a fist down the hole? Has he got a small arms that he can have in his hand?
No.
He doesn't have a pistol or anything?
I got it. I have an assault rifle and a combat knife.
Okay. So we might want to lend him a gun.
Can you use
I have small arms.
All I got is heavy
Small
pistol.
arms.
I got
Still by small arms.
I got
Yeah, heavy
pistols,
pistol,
all I
small
got.
arms. Small arms / sidearm.
Really just your sidearm.
As long as I can get your assault rifle up, you can shoot it.
Yeah, but you're talking these things are
What weapon do you have?
less than a
Assault
meter
rifle, knife.
wide.
So you
Oh,
guys
just
you're gonna
a
be
meter?
crawling.
Oh, yeah,
It's
I
less than a
can't do
meter.
anything.
You're crawling. You're going to be doing this number, crawling in there.
All right, I'll
You're
let
not
you.
going to want an assault rifle. You're not going to be able to use an assault rifle very
I'll
fast.
give you
Well,
my sidearm.
If this,
What other weapon have you got?
I
That's
don't.
it.
No, I
I'll
think
give
that's
my
a,
pistol.
Okay.
I think that's really kind of
Okay.
dumb.
Yeah, that's a good idea. If that's all I know what weapon you're
Yeah,
going to
that's
keep.
what I was telling him to relinquish.
Okay, so you're.
I still have my grenade launcher, my flamethrower. I'm
You
You
knife.
can probably use his weapon.
The
Like, what do
assault
you
rifle?
No assault rifle.
Can't use assault rifle.
He's not as effective at it.
Right around it.
Oh. What is the side? What is the?
The whole place still got smoke.
Oh, long arms.
Yeah, there's some smoke still in those.
Okay.
Some of that
I have
center
assault
holes.
rifle
Do we
too
have
on
any,
my
like-
skills.
Glow sticks or anything?
Sure.
All right.
You could have glow sticks too.
I'm gonna take some of those and just start chucking them down the holes,
Okay.
like all over. And then we're gonna take a rope and tie it to his leg, and then
Yeah.
send him down one of the holes that doesn't have
So you
smoke.
can get the body back.
That or yeah, if something goes awry, we just hopefully pull it and he just stiffens up so we can pull him straight
Well,
out.
I'll give him one grenade too.
Which one is
Grenades.
Fisk here? Is that Fisk?
We got grenades.
He's like running
I've
on
got some
You got the
frag
army?
grenades.
That's
and I have
Sure.
stun grenades.
This is me, I know, and that's
Yeah, you have the BAR, and this is.
Yeah, I know my gun's standing, so.
Okay. we'll use
he
this
was
guy.
that
This-
running guy I think before. That was him. I
This
should
is
probably
Fisk?
use
Okay.
that.
Which hole are you putting him in?
He put the smoke here and he had smoke all around this.
Yeah.
I'm gonna use a stun grenade.
Let's put him
Oh, I
down
can
this
stun
one.
myself.
The
If I use
largest-
a frag grenade, I frag him and me.
Yeah.
We're both
The
fragging.
largest one, like that's on the perimeter.
Yeah, that's a good one right there. Okay, so Fisk goes down there with a pistol in his hand and turns his flashlight on.
Strong fist, the stun grenade.
And a stun grenade in the other hand.
Yep. Got no choice. No
Well, if we hear,
choice.
if we hear,
We should pull up.
Maintain radio
exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Is that a good place for you guys? Watching
Sure.
Fisk go to his death.
Exactly.
Watching our back too.
Okay.
I knew this was coming.
Which one?
I got the
Right
flame-
on that.
Where's my
I
dice?
got the flamethrower.
Oh yeah.
So we're gonna get attacked up there.
You guys are screaming up there. I'm just down the whole one. I'm not worried about it.
Well,
I said, oh, shit.
okay. Everybody can roll me initiative.
I fought and I fought and I
As this
fought.
thing like comes up out of the ground.
Oh!
You can't see. Looks like it's going for your little sniper gun.
What? Those are bitches. I will shoot too.
Oh wow.
Actually, it's gonna appear here.
Oh.
Hey, it's pretty smart, man.
Pretty dead.
Probably. All right, let me see. When does it go? It goes on.
Bad.
Oh damn.
You don't want to fire a flamethrower. You're there. Okay, Adam. When does Jackson go? 7, Jack. Okay, you're busy, Fisk. When do you go?
Oh god. It didn't matter.
When do you go?
I rolled it.
I think
Nice.
it's
6. Okay, Fisk. So you'll hear the scream and be like, "Who should get out there?" When does
15.
Boomer goes on 15. And when do you go?
11.
11 for flat. Okay, Boomer. So you're first.
I'll move till I can get. I'm gonna torch him.
You doing the flamethrower?
Yeah.
Okay, the private PFC might get caught in that blast right there. Because it's not real,
Accurate.
yeah,
Kind of a broad area.
kind of. You still want to flame it?
Yep.
Okay,
That's all I got. It's either that or grenade.
Time slows down.
Oh, I made it.
Did you make it?
Yeah.
Okay.
If not, what's my lethal? No. I got 4 more. I'm doing a burst.
You're gonna kill Adam if you fill that area full of flames. Keep that in
Okay.
mind. Firing one
No,
is different from
I'll
just
fire.
because doing a quick whoosh is gonna potentially burn him, but if you just open up, he's definitely gonna
Put
take
it on
the
a
full brunt
stick.
of it.
Roasted marshmallows.
Let me find the guy.
Big number.
12.
Wow.
That was good.
That says per turn. Okay. Whatever that means.
I'm thinking that's meaning that it's gonna stay on fire unless it somehow can put itself out.
Ooh. That was a good one.
Burn, motherfucker, burn!
Yeah, so he gives a burst. Adam, I want a reflex roll from you, please, to see if you catch any of that. But it wasn't in the lethal, was it?
No, well,
No. Okay. So you might get burned.
You said how about your foot
Oh,
just kicking or something?
work for me, 99. Trying to decide if you're going to throw down any of those experience
I'm
points.
gonna use 5 at least.
Okay. You miss it by 1.
Oh,
You made it? Okay.
yeah, I had 62. I made it.
You did
So
12 points, so
Yeah.
you take 6 points of non-lethal damage
I feel
from the
fireball.
flames.
I'm not on fire. Am I?
No, you're not on fire, but you got scorched pretty good.
I'm non-lethal sustain.
Made your
Yes.
save.
And that moves you 5 or 6 feet because you kind of instinctively moved away from the flames.
Okay.
That doesn't count as anything for you. That was just a
We're even!
Right here, too. My 24.
yeah, he still screamed that.
I still screamed it.
He still got the roaring of the flames in his ears. Yeah, the bug's on fire, but then it like melts into the ground. And it leaves the flaming
fuel behind.
I'm looking to see if if it's teleporting or if it's like just because it looks like it goes in the ground, it's not like appearing somewhere else a little bit further off.
Okay, Flatline, what are you doing? I understand you're looking.
Okay.
I'm gonna try crawling out here.
Okay, since he's building,
15 minutes to start to wrap this up.
I'm just searching the ground and figured it'll pop up somewhere else.
Okay, so you're looking around. You two are looking around, just trying to scan every direction that you can at once. Okay.
I'm gonna get my sniper rifle out too with the train gun.
Okay. You've got your assault rifle out right now.
Yeah.
So that's going on the shoulder.
Right.
Yeah, you can do that in 10 seconds, and you can have the other gun in your hand.
Okay.
So that's your full round, looking around and getting that out.
Okay.
Fisk, you heard some yelling coming from back. You've crawled down. You had been crawling for maybe 15 or 20 seconds when this happened.
Oh, man.
So you had come down. You think 15 or 20 feet, and you come to a spot where there's like the tunnel comes to another tunnel.
So
And this is really unnerving, claustrophobic. Dirt is constantly falling. You're not like having issues like, oh my god, I'm gonna die. But you know that tunnels like this are really unstable, and it's unnerving. Is all I'm saying.
Okay.
And you're not so far you haven't seen anything. There's been some slime that you've spotted in spots, but other than that, you haven't seen anything alive. So what do you want to do?
Okay, I'm at a fork. Which tunnel do I see that looks like it's going back up? Both?
It looks like the tunnel straight ahead of you is still kind of going down, and this tunnel looks like you can actually see light coming from in that one.
Okay, I'm going back up and out.
Okay, so you're heading back out. Okay. Okay. All right, let's all roll initiative again.
You don't want good conscription on the ground. You want to go after him.
Jackson.
13.
13. Fisk.
10.
10.
10. Oh, I'm blanking now. Boomer. And good Flatline's 13. So you two guys are first. You're looking around still. You're not seeing a thing.
I've got the thing loaded.
Yeah,
Loaded.
yeah,
Okay.
no, it's ready to go. It's like an air gun.
Okay.
Okay, so Fisk, you're crawling, and you hear something behind you. Then you look over your shoulder. You're not too far from where one of the you passed one of the spots where one of the glow sticks was lying, where he had tossed down in a bunch of the holes. And you look back and you see something seep out of the wall and form itself into something solid and physical, and it completely blocks the tunnel. It's coming in right at the glow stick, and then you see the light from the glow stick just go out as it completely fills the tunnel. What do you do?
It's behind him, or
Yeah, it's behind you, and you
I
can see the light ahead.
can see the light.
The light
Oh,
of
I'm sorry. I
freedom.
thought it was like.
No, it went like this.
How
and
far
this, and
away?
he headed up this way.
How far away?
Is the light?
Yeah, how far?
Maybe 10 feet. Best guess. Jackson, you're still scanning.
What? I got how many feet up, out? I see the light. How many feet out does it look like to me? There's 10 feet back to where the.
No, 10 feet out.
Okay.
The creature is about 10 feet behind you too. Best guess, but it's pitch black back there now. And when you turn your head, your helmet light is actually getting the wall, while you can see further. You know what I mean?
Right.
Quick, what are you doing?
I'm going out.
And there's movement back there too.
Okay. I'm going out.
Okay. Are you saying anything or anything
I'm
like
going out. I
that?
said it's behind me.
Okay.
And as I get to the mouth of the I said it's making sure everybody knows it's behind me.
Okay, so you guys see this movement. You look ahead.
Fisk's head and upper torso come by. I'm assuming you're screaming at this because I would be freaking out right now.
I'm lubricating the hole.
That's a big roll initiative, and we're going to see what happens. That was a little round. Okay,
It's been underground. It's been totally out of sight of all of you guys. And so they're really. I skipped you, Boomer, and you go after Fisk. So did you want to head over this way?
Yeah, I'll head over there.
You're not going to be able to get to him in a minute. Okay, so let's see. It goes on this. And when do you go?
I go on 8.
8, Jackson. Fisk?
14.
Oh, that was the time to roll high.
13.
13 is Boomer.
My ass
And
out
when's
of here.
Flatline?
15.
15.
Wow.
What are you doing, Flatline? You're first.
Well, we see he's coming out of this hole over here,
You
right?
can, yeah, you can see his head and shoulders. He's
I try to help him out.
crawling as fast as he can. Okay, you reach in and grab the back of his belt, Fisk. I'm assuming you're just getting the hell out of it as fast as you can. You got lucky, man. If they hadn't attacked you first, it could have been very nasty.
Yeah, because I keep
Boomer, what are you doing?
Flamethrower down the hole. Suck on
Okay. Roll hit, but tell me if you roll 0. I don't know how to do if miss. So what did you roll?
30.
So it was under your rolling.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, roll me damage.
Is he the first, I assume?
Yeah, I was doing a 5, just
Oh,
unloaded.
okay, so roll that 5 times.
9.
That's lethal too, right?
Well, you have to give it to him separately.
Armor really doesn't help
Okay.
against fire.
Is he getting burn damage from before, too?
No, because I went out when he went down.
Okay.
24.
Oh, it took burn damage.
One more.
Yeah, it did put itself out by disappearing on you.
30.
Okay, so that was your total 30?
Yeah.
Okay. So, suck on that.
It's like a kill in there.
Do we feel like fire shoot out into the holes or anything?
Pretty much. No, you don't see fire holes because the thing is thick enough that it's blocking.
That sure dried out smooth though, wouldn't it?
It goes after that. So here's what happens, and you see like flames coming back at you, and you back off, and a thing comes flying out of the hole. At the top of it is just on fire. Out on the ground, just the flames just consume it. There's almost nothing. The charred looking bones, all the flesh burned right off of it. And you guys all shoot it up.
Oh, cool, man. How you doing, Mr.
Yeah, all the way. But it just, it's not that big anymore. And it's like long and slim that almost are, and you can see them like changing shape as the flames consume it. It's not totally destroyed, but it's burnt to a bloody crisp, just not moving at all once the fire finally goes out, which takes some time because you just place full.
That's what you guys get for fishing with the right bait.
Well, it's only on the surface here.
I just wanted to get
It's so hard the first time you saw it. It was like,
holy cow. That was
you
funny.
prod it, you poke it. It appears to be completely dead. There doesn't appear to be any kind of organs that survive the inferno except for bones. And somebody probably steps on one of the bones. Nothing's alive inside the bone, and it's still broken. Do you want to tease of this?
Yes.
Okay. Wrap it up and take it back to the compound. It's examined. It's unlike any they start doing some tests on it and that kind of.
Been nice to have some flesh, huh?
No, fuck that.
We brought
There are the chunks that got shot off.
we brought some
from
stuff
before.
before.
Yeah. So you had salmon. The xenomorph looks from together over the next week. Next week things are fairly quiet. All they can piece together is some kind of. The best guess from the scientists still alive is that it's when it kills things it can adapt. The basic is different from you're picking up from the rest of this planet. Whatever this thing is, it didn't start good. It started so much strange, which is unexplainable to them.
Do anything to do with cloning the previous colonies?
No, it's not human. It's not anything like anything
Okay.
that
Thing is,
you guys have dealt with.
It crashed years ago.
Yeah. No, there's no good answer for why this thing is here. They hope that there's not more. It looks like it has the potential that there could be more,
might be what kills you. You know, they just wherever you go, they follow you.
It's very strange. They're going to fit completely. You guys will still have the mission of keeping the colony.
You know, the fire seems to be very effective. If you can get it with enough fire,
Be able to saturate the area that hadn't been right next to Jackson, you might kill it on the surface, you think. But no, you guys shot the hell out of it. Survive. It's very hardy, whatever it is. Again, like you saw bullets bouncing off it. But the first time that you fought it, they didn't. The first time you did not. They weren't bouncing off the first shot at all. So they don't have a theory on that. If it evolved, or if it can adapt, then maybe it found something else on the planet that had some kind of armor and adapted. But over the next 6 months, there are no other dangers like this. So either that was the only one, or that was the only one in this area. Without actually going out miles and miles and kilometers and determining for sure whether or not it's a planet or the only one that noticed you guys. Right. So at the end of the 6 months, and we'll just leave it at that. Over the next period of 6 months, you don't deal with anymore. And I'm not going to deal with another spy ship showing up because that goes kind of beyond me. There you go. That's
did you guys like it?
Oh, yeah. The rule system's a little clunky, and I was familiar with it as a and I'd say that was, the second time I've played with you guys. I enjoyed playing with you guys. Because I've played with some groups of guys in a while. They're either way off the mark, or just too young, or something. Yeah.
Well, or I've played with people that are just totally serious, and it's like, well, it's some people don't like to get into role playing. I mean, not role playing by the same.
Yes, it's part of the theory of video.
Just that act and slash.
I like your details.
Oh, thank you.
Effects, your accents, your things like that.
I love that. You stick it in the sock on my ass. That was fun.
What was back?
I'm going to turn the thing off and we'll see if it actually works.